Welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix. My name is Dangerous, and this is Crosshair, the show that brings you runs with bullets. First-person shooters, third-person shooters, shmups, bullet hells, lasers, rockets, grenades, paintballs, and shotgun shells. It's got bullets in it. It's got a home here at Crosshair. If you've got a run that you think qualifies for Crosshair or really any of our other GDQ Hotfix shows, head on over to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix and fill out the run submission form, and you just may end up on a future episode of the GDQ Hotfix. Folks, I'm very excited today. This stream is sponsored by Superman on HBO Max. A new generation of superheroes is here. In this blockbuster, Superman faces off against tech billionaire Lex Luthor and tries to find the balance between his Kryptonian heritage and life as journalist Clark Kent. Critics call it wonderfully entertaining and an awe-inspiring spectacle. Stream James Gunn's smash hit Superman on HBO Max now. And to complement our little sponsored show for today, I thought it would be fun to bring in an old classic from the PS2 era. Yes, Jak and Daxter is a beloved franchise for... Oh, sorry, hold on one sec. Sorry, what? Ratchet... Sorry, I'm being told that we're doing Ratchet and Clank today. So we've got 3 Ratchet and Clank runs, and we've got a Crosshair first for today's episode. All the way back in episode 1, I wanted to have the very first run here on Crosshair be a race of Mass Effect 2. Sadly, because of scheduling, we couldn't make that happen. So today, we're going to be breaking a Crosshair first. We've got a race of Ratchet and Clank being brought to you by Robo and Scary. So, Robo, Scary, take it away, my friends.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having us on. Yeah, this is Jak and Dax, Ratchet and Clank, one of the two.
Nice.
Yeah, really cool to have us on. This game is going to be pretty interesting to see. I guess we should introduce ourselves first. I'm Scary. I'm one of the runners of this game. I play mainly this category a lot now. I don't know what I do. I guess I'm known for Secret Agent Clank, banger game, known for In Some Mind and some other stuff. And yeah.
Yeah, I've been involved with the Ratchet community. This is a great game. I've been really enjoying it recently, so I'm super glad to show it off. Perfect timing, really.
Yeah, and we're both record holders in this game, actually. Not in this category, but...
Ooh. So high-level gameplay. All right, well, I am ready to get this going. If you are ready, you can just give us a countdown, and let's get this shaking.
Oh, yeah, do you want to count us down?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm doing the countdown?
Yes.
Apparently.
I can do the countdown. All right, let's do this. All right, folks, we're going to get this race started in 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck.
Let's go.
There we go. It was way cooler when you did it.
Yeah, that's true.
Way better than I would have done it.
So, fun fact, we have to start off this game on a special file that lets us skip like the tutorial pretty much.
Yeah, the first room, there's going to be some dialogue. And the other file that just kind of bug in a way that the dialogue doesn't play.
Yeah.
We don't know how that works, but...
Yeah, we have no idea. Someone just got a random file with it, and it works. Pretty much all there's
The first level's about just a tutorial where it's showing us how to play the game. We're going to hit all these cutscenes in order, and then there's one mission we have to do before we can start the actual game.
Yeah.
Already, that mission is going to get pretty interesting because we're going to be abusing a bug with the knockback mechanics of this game, where basically, if you get hit and open the menu, it applies way more momentum than it's supposed to. So we can fly through the air because we have so much bug speed from just being here once.
Yeah. I said use another mechanic because didn't get that to work. But pretty much how this game works is that whenever you open the controls menu, you get to reset Ratchet state, so you can do a lot of things out of it, like for example doing infinite hyper strikes, which we call hyper stacks. There's
we see a lot of that. It kind of resets his animation, so you can, for example, hyper strike, and when you're at the top, you would cancel his animation. You do it over and over again. Which you're going to want to avoid doing as much as possible, because it's kind of slower, but you do also like getting hype when you need it.
Yeah, pretty much have like horizontal movement and vertical movement. in some
Yeah, you
different
see
ways.
the
So.
horizontal movement, we're just using the charge moves. So we're just, oops, we're just, definitely pick with the charge moves. It's not as action packed as some of the other red games, but
Yeah.
you can kind of change jumps out of them. Oh, let's go flush try. That's a frame perfect.
Oh, got it.
Nice, GG.
Yeah, it's called Landstalker skip. It's really hard. It's a pretty perfect skip. Pretty much it lets you. Normally, you're not allowed to get out of the Landstalker there. You have to do this pretty long vehicle mission. It's about a minute or something.
Yeah,
And
the
you
vehicle
can
mission,
just-
that is a really slow vehicle, so being able to just get out of it and,
Yeah.
you know...
Don't worry though. We'll be seeing that later.
Unfortunately,
For any Landstalker fans, we'll see that later.
also, we're using the bot's ultimate here for the Ravager.
Yeah.
We're using it a bit more than intended, because the file, again, has some weird quirks. So, Oracle Mobius played this game so much on one file that it literally just bugged this out in a way where I guess the XP kind of overflowed or something, and you get infinite uses of the Ravager, which is the bolt's ultimate attack. It's not like super useful, but it does come in handy just to protect us when we're like playing in modes, for example.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess we haven't mentioned it, but like for people who have played this game casually, like you'll know that like you have these two bots called Merc and Green, like helping Ratchet around. Those are probably going to be the main source of time loss for the runs most of the time, because you have to make sure they take the optimal paths and everything. And yeah, in a run they can be annoying to deal with, but thankfully we know how to.
Yeah, a lot of the high level gameplay for this game is knowing how to kind of manipulate them and get them to go where you want to go.
We're seeing more air swings here on Planet Serapis.
Yeah, just
And,
really good.
Whoa. Holy moly.
Just here.
Ooh, just look at that.
A big launch.
We're just getting across to this arena from the backside.
Wow, I can smell it from up here.
Good. The second map flank pretty much done. No need to fall for the bots here.
In order to advance to the Leviathan lair, Team Darkstar must capture 3 control nodes.
Something you'll see a lot about Hulk is like these orbs that the bots will have to hack. They're pretty much in every level, and it's pretty much what takes like the longest time for them to do. So in levels where like you have to deal with this, you want to make sure that the bots like
Final moments before the end.
start hacking them as soon as possible.
Team Darkstar must all the
And there's also like some extra tricks. You can get some of them to like attach to some of the nodes earlier, but you see some of that later.
Sure, you're not just breathless because you get to
Yeah, Deadlocked is a game where I think the details really matter. There are so many little things for us to know, and we add up. Also, we should probably mention, as someone saying in the chat, the category is called NG Plus No LC. So obviously NG Plus means you can cover all the weapons, gadgets, whatever. LC is a really weird bug where you can essentially just completely, like, you can load files in a completely bugged way and skip entire, portions of the run. So instead of being a 40-minute speedrun, this would be a 5-minute speedrun with
Wow.
Yeah. So we're now playing Chronos, which is pretty much the longest level in the run, I would say. I mean, not exactly the longest in terms of time, but like has a lot of challenges. It's pretty hard. It's usually where like you want to reset to get a good early game time. I know a lot about that, trust me.
Resetting? Oh, in a speedrun? What?
Yeah.
All the bosses die in one hit, so you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
that. But we have another kind of like an myth where essentially some aspects of like boss gameplay carry between files. So if you die on a boss a lot, the game makes it easier, and you can use that to have bosses that die really easily.
Nice.
Essentially just reducing their max health.
Yeah.
Kind of like a difficulty adjustment sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
These
Okay.
games all have like dynamic difficulty. That's super common back in the day. I think this game has an actual difficulty scale. Obviously,
Yeah,
we're
it's
playing on
weird.
the easiest difficulty because we like killing things fast.
Because we can't beat the hardest difficulties. Too hard. Wait.
It's true.
Okay.
Well, the hardest difficulty in this game is actually pretty brutal. I'm not
It
gonna lie.
actually is, yeah.
above the water.
I believe it.
There was people like who wanted it as like a separate category, think it even was a separate category back in the day, but it's not anymore because nobody played it.
That's good. Ah! Yeah, that's a weird ass swing where we're essentially just using an infinite momentum to kind of get close to this ledge here. That's going to spawn the bots here, which is where they need to be. So it's slightly faster than going around.
Yeah. Also, all the air swings that have to do with like the small enemies, they're insanely hard. We might make them look easy, but like any round of this game can tell you that like really, really hard to get.
Yeah, it does, you know, it's something you can try at home maybe, just like get hit, open the options menu, but doing it properly in the context of a speedrun does require a lot of knowledge about how to manipulate kind of the enemies' behavior.
Yeah, a lot of things in this game you just kind of have to know how they work. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's like there's a lot you have to learn, but there's a lot you have to know.
It's kind of deceptive.
Interesting. Not a lot to learn, but a lot to know.
Yeah.
Is an interesting way to frame it.
I could say like knowledge is more important than practice.
Yeah, sort of like inherent knowledge kind of thing. That was cool.
This road leads right to the gates of the dark cathedral of Kronos, but it's chock full of twists, turns,
Yep. Oh yeah, we're just going through walls. I mean, if you've seen a Ratchet Clank speedrun ever, you're not surprised by going through walls, because every Ratchet game has it.
Here we do with the mines.
Which has solid collision. They push through the wall, so you can just go straight to the final stage of the boss. Cool, and now on the first of the game's tournament. This game is split up by like 4 different tournaments, doing mechanics.
Yep.
This one is probably the hardest one.
Did you know that shell shock was
That's actually pretty easy though, it's just an arena. Arenas in this game essentially just, you know, you hit them, memorize all the spawns, and they spawn, but it's not too much of a hassle.
Clank. Hey, Ratchet.
A big focus is like sniping the ships with the fusion rifle before, like, just as they spawn. Because obviously, if you have them fly in and play a long animation, so no ideal.
Yeah. If you played this game back in the day, like, probably like remember like how combat focused it is compared to a Ratchet game. Of course, you can't redo anything like skip the arenas. It's just the main part of the game.
Yeah, it's better. Or not. Hit me.
So here, Robobot went for a really difficult hair swing.
No, I didn't even go through the hard one. I just missed it out.
Okay. So we're gonna see a really impressive air swing on the last mission of Avenger. So you probably remember if you played this game the tower power, just this big tower that you normally have to scale.
This game isn't all air swings, by the way. We're just a lot of them at the start.
Yeah.
It gets a bit very effortless.
So here I'm gonna try to get on the side of the tower and just climb it with an air swing. It looks really cool, and it's also a bit hard to make sure you're going in the right direction.
It's very cool and quite precise, because you're essentially riding up the slope while swinging the range, and it will literally just kind of push you upwards. And there you go, that is the fastest you're ever going to see that going.
Okay.
There's an arena at the top of here, but only is one round for some reason, so there we go.
We have Shar up next. This planet is like pretty infamous even casually because it's really hard. It's not as hard as in a speedrun, I would say, but there are a lot of like exclusive problems with this planet. For example, it tends to crash a lot. Yeah.
The second mission is probably they just went crazy. They went absolutely wild.
There's so many
enemies. And they're supposed to use the Landstalker turret, but that's just such a slow vehicle, so we're kind of forced to do it on foot. And
oh boy.
there are so, like, it's so easy for anything to get killed. There is also, like I said, or like Scary said, it crashes sometimes. Not that that shouldn't happen, but yeah. Oh, it crashed.
Okay, oh no. Wait for Robo.
No.
I should not have said anything, really.
Yeah. Also, something I should mention is that this
oh my god, okay.
this mission in particular, so we first start seeing more of bot cycles. So what bot cycles are is that the bots kind of have a timer on them for like when they teleport to your position, and here I can't really explain while I'm also like doing it. Like you're gonna see they teleport to where I'm at when I'm near the bolt crank. So every time they teleport, you want to make sure you're near the bolt crank, so they start doing it immediately.
Yeah, they kind of respawn on you every 10 seconds. So
yeah, something
in this
like
mission
that.
in particular, you have to make sure you're by the end, by those 10 seconds, because if you're not by the edge, like, they're going to spawn in the middle of all the enemies, and they're guaranteed to die. Not the first time this game's crashed from GDQ, and it probably won't be the last. Don't tell them, though. No, this game is very marathon safe.
Yeah, also, if I remember the port of this game for the PS3, which is what we're playing, is not very stable. Also, like,
yeah, you should better go again.
Okay.
And pause.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay, let's go. I thought I was gonna have to go back. Because the bot didn't do the notebook. It went pretty well.
Uh-oh. Okay. It took a while, but we did it.
The last mission on Shar is another node mission. This one is also like, you're gonna see like the bot like pretty much like getting to your position one by one. It's like really cool to learn. Because you want to make sure you have like the perfect timing and position every time. And after Shar we have Orton, which is a returning planet from the first game. Shout out to Rock
Yeah,
One.
Oxon is also very difficult.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this game at some point it just demands that you have to do the same thing every single round, because if you don't, like, bad things are gonna happen. You're gonna spawn in the wrong place. They're gonna die. They're gonna get sniped by some enemy. And trying to fix it is just gonna be it.
The first mission of Orkson is normally going around like this huge labyrinth. In runs, you can just have the bots do the two gates at the same time. And it just, like, the game just thinks you completed the whole path and went
Yeah,
around.
it lets you pick if you go left or go right, but in a speedrun, we choose to go yes.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have Node Overload, which is the second mission, where it's another, like, bot cycle that can be pretty tough sometimes, I'm not sure. It's one of my favorite levels, it's really fun.
Yeah, we're gonna try and protect them as best we can by using the mines. Obviously, we can't kind of really just stay there and like kill the enemies if they pop up, because we need to be going about and like dealing with
what
them
happens.
as well. What happened?
I'm not sure, they just was gone from the node. That's okay.
The bot isn't on the node, I don't know why.
Yeah, I had the same thing. It's weird. Then we have like a mission where you just have the bots complete a lot of nodes inside this factory area. It's pretty easy because you're on easiest difficulty, so like they won't be dying unless you're doing a really bad job, and the enemies won't even focus on you, so you just kind of watch them.
Funny enough, there is a specific order that you want to ping these nodes in. It doesn't really make too big of a difference, but
Yeah, it's like a second
it does kind of
difference,
like path them there.
And then, for some reason, the last mission on Orkson is normally a Landstalker mission, but for this one, the devs somehow decided that you can just get out of the Landstalker, and so we can just like do it normally with the Rhino.
Oh, wow.
I guess the Harbinger, that's what it's called in this game.
Mega Supernova.
Yeah. That's what it's called in NG+. And then after Orkson, we have the second tournament, which is Crusader, where Ratchet's gonna fight Reactor, the second of the Exterminators. He's pretty cool, my favorite character from the game. He was a math teacher.
Oh.
Yeah, now it's just like a huge robot with a nuclear reactor in his chest.
Even, I would say.
That's one
Pretty
does.
good,
20 seconds behind.
it's pretty good glow up, I would say.
This is a mission where you can only use the mine, so just memorize where the spawns are
Yeah.
and kill things if they spawn.
For all the arena challenges, pretty much all there is to it is just like learning spots where the enemies are gonna spawn next.
Yeah, not too bad. Kind of the game gives you a bit of a breather.
Yeah. Almost done this one. And at the end of this mission, we usually spin around because the ice mod that you have equipped on every weapon here, because it cancels death animations. So killing the enemies will be like faster. And then at the end of me spin around, because the ice mod pretty much sometimes only works when you're looking at the enemies. So you want to make sure that you look at all of them by just moving around really fast. Oh, that's a problem. You're also gonna see that, like, with that tuning that Robo mentioned earlier, we're gonna be able to kill Reactor in like pretty much a single shot. It's gonna be the same for every boss pretty much, except the Viscerator, which is the next boss we have coming up, and it's just a guy that usually has a shield. And you can still kill him in a shot.
Oh, what? I got the
pretty
action.
trick.
Oh, I was clicking the line, I guess.
Oh yeah, because you quit the game.
Yeah, I crashed.
Yeah.
Forgot about that little detail. I just want to put this.
You can get it back on during loading screen, I guess.
Yeah, let me just do that. We have a tool that helps us set it up.
Yeah. Let's see a Rockman notification on screen.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Don't worry about that. That's the tool we use for rounds pretty much.
Hey, Alex is pretty much the planet possessor. Yes. I know I said we're but we get one more to showcase. This is just like a planet where the objectives are on different islands. So obviously,
we're also seeing the first ship mission. One of two we have to do. And a lot of this is just knowing how to take on the enemies and just kind of buffering the fire. They're really hard to do well because you want to play very risky and go.
Yeah, I see that. Like I just felt like I was dead.
Yeah.
I had to turn around to go. And if not the runners were cheating, the game is the one cheating by making it crash.
That's true.
So really, you should win the game.
I mean, usually when I'm losing a game, I assume the game is just cheating and it's not me playing badly.
That's true. It's either the game or the controller.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the game, the controller.
Yeah, the controller.
I had something in my eye. It's not lack of skill or aptitude. It's something else.
Also, I want to bring up like Runner Mobius again because he's insane at these missions. His times are way better than anyone else, and he's also like known for like having insane times for each of the individual levels we have on the board. So I want to see like some sick level of gameplay.
Yeah, if you are interested in seeing like the absolute craziest showcase of this game,
oh yeah,
stick to Speedruns if it's category one of this. It's a fun match. There's more after this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of games in this franchise too. Like, there's plenty of stuff to watch.
Yeah, we just got a new one. Because Lock mobile game was just found.
That's true.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah. Called Ratchet Clank.
2007.
Shout out to Clone Home. We have a former record holder, Sinasar in chat.
There we go. I should be finishing that soon. Last mission. So you're only like 20 seconds ahead. Could be anyone still. Next planet is really hot.
Yeah, Torval is the next planet, and it can be really hard. I know we cannot say that about every planet, but this game is pretty brutal in terms of like it's not really hard to like finish your round, but like you can just lose time anywhere pretty much.
I feel like the thing about this game is that all your mistakes compound so badly you can make one slip up.
Yeah.
And it's
I am
disastrous
familiar with
in
that.
so many
With
missions.
that, I've got runs that are the same way. It just snowballs if you let one mistake hit you.
I think that's what makes it so. Oh, the guy is doing a really bug animation here. Yeah, I think it makes it kind of interesting because it is a challenge, but you know sometimes it's also frustrating. Needless to say. Yeah, exactly. This is the game that's like very. As the phrase is like easy to learn, difficult to master.
Exactly. Absolutely.
What would you say is like an expected time for like a beginner runner who maybe hasn't learned the run yet and is like doing early runs? Because like we're talking about like 40 minutes, so thinking like maybe an hour and 10.
Yeah, I feel like if you just, I feel like even if you don't, yeah, I feel like you could do this in an hour and a half if you've never seen a speedrun before, just by having like a profile.
And
Okay, nice.
we were talking about time loss. I just lost a bit to one of the guys. So in that mission, I haven't explained it, but normally you have to chase those robots with a motorbike. What we just do is we stand into like precise spots and kill them with the rockets. But my rockets, for some reason, didn't kill one of the guys. So
Yeah.
I lost a bit of
I guess
time
we
for
should
that.
know this. I guess we should know that this game is like weapon mods, and we're just using full area on most of our weapons, and that makes the explosion radius on all these guns like ludicrous. Oh, I didn't spend money. Please don't do this to me. Okay. I practiced. Okay, there we go.
Great. And then on the last mission of Corvo, so the lore of this planet is that you're kind of like trying to find a ship to escape it, and turns out that the ship is like under the big statue. We're gonna have to blow it up, and here we see the planting bombs mechanic, which is it's pretty much like the bots doing the nodes. It's still pretty much the same thing conceptually, but they just take less, and sometimes you just get stuck while doing
Oh,
it.
another jump. There's a little tight jump you can do in the turret, landing
Yeah.
this no sooner. There you go. Just Ratchet Clank into a different name. This is it was called Gladiator in Europe.
Yeah.
And Deadlocked. America.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of Ratchet games have this for some reason.
They just loved to do that back in the day. I swear, early 2000s, pretty much every game was doing that.
So now we have the first mission on Tournament Vindicator, where it's a random weapon challenge, but for some reason the weapons aren't randomized, so it's always the same ones every time. I don't know why they did that, probably to save time, the coding or something. But you're just gonna know like which weapon you're gonna get next, so it's pretty easy to optimize.
Yeah, one nice thing about this run is that there's another whole lot of RNG. Lucky, it would be horrible. Imagine if the guns were actually random. You just get like the worst guns, and it's like, oh, don't do this to me.
Yeah.
No, luckily,
But enough, you do get the worst gun at the end, at the last round of the mission, which is the Vipers. But they're pretty good against the big enemies because you're in 90 plus, and they become really strong.
yeah, we have everything maxed out, so our stats are just good retard and everything.
And if you have the fact that the enemies are like pretty much doing damage based on the lowest difficulty, and I think that also affects health. Yeah, it's pretty easy to kill most of them. The hardest thing with the enemies is like, funnily enough, getting hit by them, because when you want to get hit during an air swing, you want to get hit as fast as possible, because otherwise it won't work. So there's this funny thing where the enemies in this difficulty, they won't hit you unless you're directly looking at them, which is really weird.
Yeah, the AI is actually based on the difficulty, and if you're playing on this difficulty, so they didn't want you to get like hit off screen because that feels kind of unfair, I guess. So they have mechanics where they won't hit you unless you're actually looking at them.
Yeah, and this is even like more insane in
Also,
co-op.
the range is a lot shorter.
Yeah. This is more insane in co-op as well because in the co-op version of this game, you have to look at, like, both players have to look at an enemy for its shots to land, which is pretty annoying.
This is a 2-minute scroller, by the way.
Yeah. Here we just wait. There's nothing to really do.
Yeah, we just
no
look
way to
out of
skip this.
bounds and then doesn't even try for tactics. And don't unequal them in the mud there.
Also, shout out to this mission. This mission is called Airdrop. I made a speedrun history video on this, on the record for this mission.
Nice.
Yeah. So the twist is, I'm gonna spoil it. So if anyone actually wants to see the video, mute the stream for 10 seconds. But the twist is, like,
Boil away.
this mission actually is always gonna end at the same time because it's obviously like a timer. But you can actually make it longer by upgrading the weapons midway through it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Shout out to Cyberpunk for having their own non-world record run at this
Yeah,
level.
exactly.
Make way.
Okay, up next we have
Also,
Planet Stygia. Casually, probably the most hated planets. I've heard a lot of people complain about this one. Because it's
I
pretty
feel
much
the
only
same about it
vehicle
in
missions.
Speedrun, but the music is bang.
Yeah, the music in this game is really good. So we start off with the Landstalker. It's a really bad vehicle to control, but here we have to kind of shoot down these nodes. And this mission is just a nightmare casually. It's really hard because you have to deal with the enemies like in each section of this. You have to stop a lot, but here in the speedrun we can just like run and hope we don't get hit.
Yeah, you do see that even on the easy difficulty, you're taking a lot of damage, and you do have to be fast, because you do risk dying.
There's one threat in this, which is the turret right at the end. The turrets completely destroy the Landstalker. So I have the turret alive right now. It's trying to hit me, so obviously it's off screen, so it won't do that very easily. But if that hits me for like a couple seconds, I'm pretty much dead.
Yeah, we're actually hopping sideways because that's way faster than moving forward.
Yep.
And we're pretty much just gonna, we have to kill these little orbs, and we're just gonna try and snipe them from the crosshair as possible. That was not very good.
Oh, that was close. About to fall down an energy collector. Energy collector is another one of the wrench that the bots have to turn levels. Just this one is one of the most annoying ones because the bots often get stuck on this like high up
ledges.
platforms. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't work very well with height. Oops.
And then we have the last vehicle mission on Stygia, which is Shields Up, where there's another one that pretty something casually. We're just gonna have to protect these bots while they do the nodes here. Oh, and actually managed to not get the right trick here. Doesn't matter that much. There's a lot of enemies on screens in this mission. On this mission, so we're gonna try to kill them also as fast as possible because they're gonna make the game lag, which could also sometimes lead to the game crashing.
I know, you can't crash in this mission. Just
You can crash anywhere in this game. Just how it is. I keep seeing like new crashes being found in this game. It's has a lot to give still.
What's to still be that? Yeah, this is not for sure 40 crash. There's actually like a small manipulation we do by pinging the nodes in it. It's just the only mission where the bots work and do the nodes on their own, but we actually want to force them to do it in a specific order because it's just like faster. Oh, I actually lost time there. Yeah, it's a difference of like a few seconds. It's not really a big deal. And this is probably the easiest mission in the game if you use Miracle like that.
Yeah. Just have to shoot like on the three sides of the thing.
Oh my god.
I should mention, I'm on planet Maraxus right now and I only have one bot because the other has been captured. So that doesn't really change much, except the fact that this mission has to be done pretty quickly. We want the bot to spawn optimally on each of the ball cranks. I already got hit there, so I'm gonna be slow on the last one.
I was watching your screen share and I forgot which mission I was on. Thought I was on your mission. Now I am.
Spying on your opponents during a race?
Yeah. Fortunately, he's not making any big mistakes, so I am still slightly behind.
I just did a clip through the door using the magnet ramp. That, for some reason, gives you extra speed. So if you're just like going into it while falling and just double jump, you have so much speed that the game quits you through.
Nice.
Yeah, the ramp is very wonky.
Oh, this is gonna lose time. So that the ball got stuck, there is zero I can do about it. I'm just gonna have to hyperstruck my way towards the other end of the corridor.
Oh, there we go. That's pretty slow. Yeah, and the rest of the level is just flipping through walls.
Yeah. And we have the last tournament, which is Liberator, where we face Ace Hardlight. I guess
he's the
main
final boss
antagonist
of the tournament. He must be pretty difficult. Oh, good.
So this mission is pretty much timing the rockets and make sure it kills everything, which rocket kills everything on screen. Just actually pretty hard. Definitely harder than it seems.
Yeah, this is a hard one. You can just spam the rockets and get a decent time, but you will save about 20 seconds if you're kind of being very strategic with your shots. And essentially trying to stagger it to trigger the waves with as few shots as possible. I just missed one.
Then the last few waves, you just use the B6 instead, which is even more miserable because the enemies just kind of spawn randomly at that point.
Oh, no.
You're just kind of hoping that you actually hit them. Okay. We have another arena mission, which is actually the last one in the game. In this mission, you have to kill enemies as fast as possible, and the more enemies you kill, the faster Ratchet gets. Unfortunately, that is kind of useless because you're in a square. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go.
Right.
What kind of ride?
He said faster. He gets faster. I'm thinking like, well, how's that going to be useful here? And then it's not useful. It's like, oh, okay, that answers that question.
Yeah, exactly.
Big game design.
We don't get what they were thinking. They probably had like some hidden purpose for this.
This mission is just about ammo management, because if you spam on this mission, you rush your ammo.
And then we have Ace Hardlight. That's Ace Hardlight.
Wow.
That one actually hurt.
He really was.
Watch out for the...
He really was the trickiest boss. They hacked him so much. He actually has less HP than any other boss in the game.
Yeah, because he uses the shield a lot. Casually, it's actually pretty hard to defeat.
Yeah, because he has a shield and he's supposed to regen health, but you can one-shot him. So...
Then we have the Ghost Station, which is pretty standout level in this game.
Yeah, these two next levels are my favorites. Some of my
they're really cool.
These are heavily movement based and very, I would say, different to the rest of the game. And these are both of the levels we play in Energy Plus with low intensity. So the 5-minute category, or 6 minutes. With us,
and here I'm gonna do a trick called the counter clip that I found. It's pretty much, instead of playing the level, you just go underneath the level and try to snipe the monitors.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a very unique because the trigger for the end of the level is just breaking these objects. So you can actually get very creative with how you do it. like clipping underneath the level
Yeah.
and you're shooting it super far away.
It's just,
Close is
it's
so
not because
cool.
they found it, but that's legit my favorite try in the game because it's so unique compared to everything else, you know?
Okay, much better. And then escape, which is another very skill testing level. This is just about taking the fastest lines possible and stopping the whenever possible. And you have to be very confident in your shots.
Yeah. This level is a deal breaker in NG+, but also I would say in OLC as well, because you have to just complete this as fast as possible. You can lose a lot here if you don't know how to handle each one of the objectives.
Yeah, the turrets die in a few hits, but you kind of have to know for each turret how long it takes to kill. And honestly, you want to spend as little time shooting each turret as possible.
Yeah. And I'm entering the last level, which is interior.
Oh,
where,
did that one die? Did that one die? Didn't die. Ah, yeah, I knew it. That was a really good escape.
This is the last level where we then are gonna have to fight Gleeman Vox, the final boss, the main villain of the game. And this
One more
is
level,
pretty
okay, I think that's
hardest level in the game.
Yeah, the hardest level is definitely at the end. We haven't explained, so clipping in this game, so far we've all been clipping through barriers, doors, because this game has a mechanic that will actually kill you if you clip through like a solid wall. So the only things you can clip through are things like open. But there is an exception on this last level, because if the wall is at a very sudden slope angle, you can clip through it, and we're going to use that to complete, well, this one we're literally going to complete from below, which is crazy.
Yeah.
We're gonna get our bounds and get the spawn. The bots, they just spawn outside, and the. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't worry, I messed it up too. There's this final few challenges are really
This is
hard.
hard. This is hard. Because I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. By the way, why I got instantly killed there, because the game. I guess an enemy nudged me or something. The game said, "Oh wait, you're going out of bounds. Don't do that." Okay.
And then we have West Generator, where we kind of have to do more of the same, except this time we're charging to the
No.
end.
It's close.
There's
Aw.
this really impressive movement here.
This is hard. Yeah, you also have
Probably
to
my
hit the
favorite
cycle
level in the
here.
game.
You need to clip fast enough so that the bots will spawn on you after you've already clipped. So we end with that.
Oh, my bots were like floating around. I think that lost me a bit. They've been pretty flawless otherwise.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, and you just jump forward a bit there to get the bot to latch onto that node just a little bit further away.
Yes. And the final actual level before the final boss is this central core. We're gonna see some cool tech here we do with the wrench to just kind of
He's still stuck?
find this wall.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh.
Okay.
That happens.
Yeah, there's like a barrier he can get stuck on, and you can
last
go and
clip.
deload it by walking over there. But I actually wasn't far enough away, so it was a fair bit here.
So
But it looks
this
like
is the
scary. It's
final
supposed to be
room.
done, so
Yeah, I'm almost done.
just
This is the final room with a lot of enemies in it. Fortunately enough, they only spawn if you kill this one guy. So what we do here is we just kind of like surround this turret with shields, with hollow shields. I think this is the first time we actually use them in the game. And then we just wait for the boss to be done, and now we can go on to the final boss.
ah.
That was a 46. So final boss is pretty much Rhino and then spamming Flare. I'm gonna have the bots help me with a couple of Ravagers. And then, funnily enough, you finish off the final boss with the starting pistols. So I'm just gonna be waiting. Timing is coming up for me. Time is almost up. A couple of seconds. And that's it for me.
GG.
Gee.
Unfortunately,
Very nice.
I
That was
died on this gen. Got a good interior
45.
too.
Something.
I can tell you in
was good.
just a second if you
That
give
was
me a
actually really
moment.
close.
Feed refresh. Looks like a 4109.
Oh, that's way better than I thought. Oh, that could have been legit a PV if I didn't have to,
But then crash?
to wait for Robo, yeah.
It was a lot of. I feel bad though. I scammed you out of the movie.
I mean,
doesn't
if you did it once, you could do it again.
That's true.
Yeah.
I suppose since we're all about to perish horribly, I should own up to a few things. First of all, Timmy
Where's the other
Aberdeen.
bot? Okay, there we go. Oh, I killed the enemy. Yeah, this is what you don't want to happen. All the guys spawn in, it lags a lot, and the bots can die. Go! I killed Skyrim, that's crazy.
Oh, it's fine.
Sure.
It's fine. I will just get world record tomorrow. It doesn't matter.
I think so.
Just casually get record.
Interior is a really cool unique level because you're doing stuff that you don't do on any other planet.
Yeah, exactly. It's right at the end.
Yeah.
So cool. Definitely won't lose runs to it.
I've never seen that before. I actually just saw this like 10 seconds ago. There we go.
That's Robo down too.
Yep. Cool.
GG.
That was really fun.
Very nice. That was a lot of fun. So before we wrap it all up and move on to our next run, tell everybody where they can find you on the internet and give any shout outs you want to give.
Yes. So, I mean, first of all, shout out to the Ratchet Clank speedrunning Discord. Definitely, if you like this game or like any of the other games you want to learn them, you should definitely join. There are a lot of people willing to help you. Just like, I mean, me and Robo, there's more people for each game. You're always going to find people to help you if you want to get started.
People are often intimidated by starting to speedrun. It's very easy. You can pick up and we have so many tutorials for these games, so any game you want to play, I recommend giving it a shot. And if you do want to give it a go, you go to speedrun.com/rac, so RAC, and there's a link to join our Discord where we have all the tutorials, all the resources, everything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to find me, I'm not going to say my Twitch, but it's on the layout, I think.
Yeah, I think it's Robo with 10 O's.
Yeah.
It's a lot of O's.
I'll let the viewers count.
Yeah, mine is obviously also in the description. You'll probably catch us doing rounds of this game or one of the other ones, I'm not sure, from the series. I guess shout out to all the runners of this game. Shout out to Mobius, shout out to Sadbean. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, shout out to everyone
excited.
coming next to. I love all of these games, and Weir is very good with the pod, and all the other games too. All of these games are actively speedrun every game in the series, even the ones you probably never heard of. So
yeah, we need to get a Ratchet exclusive hotfix.
Ratchet,
oh, you can land here?
Games.
take the shot.
That's crazy. Insane.
I can't think of a better way to wrap up the run than to suddenly discover something new for the first time. So yeah, thank you both for showcasing this. This was a lot of fun.
Before we go,
oh, yeah,
I just want to show off how the game looks on my PS3 menu. I've done this of every marathon where I presented this game. It's just it looks like this.
That's a phone app.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both for showcasing it off. We're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back with yet another Ratchet run with the Sag Bean. So, folks, go get some water, stretch, do whatever you got to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Crosshair here on the GDQ Hotfix. We just watched an awesome race of Ratchet Deadlocked, our very first race actually here on Crosshair, and we are going to be chugging right along into our next run, which is Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal with the Sag Bean. So Sag Bean, take it away.
All right, so what's up, wonderful GDQ chat? Hello, my fellow gamers. So if you were here for the Ratchet Deadlocked run, you saw that I was kind of spitting a few extra facts about that game. So evidently, I must be very knowledgeable on Ratchet Deadlocked, and that's probably the game that you're going to watch me play. So naturally, we're playing Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal instead.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So those are the two Ratchet games that I run the most. I've run the first two a little bit. Also, shout out to my partner in chat, Yukito's BF. I love you too. I promise to anyone in chat they're not a parasocial person. That's my actual real life romantic partner.
Welcome.
So yeah, this is a new game plus no QE. I'll just explain the QE real quick. It's some PS3 exclusive glitch that you quit out with a certain criteria met, and you can manipulate a lot of weird stuff, and you can buy story-related items to cut the game down by like 10 minutes. Zem92 has a video on it. Let's see, what else? You saw the charge boots in Ratchet Deadlocked. I'm not going to really explain them. I feel like there's something I did want to explain, but oh well, if I don't remember it, it wasn't important.
We'll explain it when we get there.
Exactly. All right, so I'm going to start a countdown from 4, and then I'm going to say go, and when I say go, that's when you start. So,
all right.
So just give it a second, and 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
All right, so this is Belden. So the very first thing you're going to see is a technique called the boxy, and it looks a little bit something like this. All right, so now I'm going to swap the... I'm swapping a third-person mode to skip a completely scripted sequence. I'll explain boxies later because, yeah, they're actually pretty complex to explain. Oh, great. Okay, I completely missed that. So I was trying to skip that, but I did my movement a little funky. We're off to a great start here. What I'm going to try and set up is a skip for the very next planet. I have to kill 4 enemies, and then I have to skip the rest of the fight. If I defeat too many extras, that's not good, and the skip won't work. So it's very vital that I do this correctly. All right, there we go. And now, hopefully, when I go to the end, I just realized I have the wrong weapon order. This is not good, like, at all. So if I miss Quark Warp, I'll just pull a John. So I already lost like 20 seconds on the first split. That's actually crazy. That's fine. It marathon luck. So this is Florana. There's usually a jungle and then an obstacle course. Ideally, you're not going to see any of that. You're just going to see some weird guy at the end. I don't really know who he is. He's some mystery man. Apparently, he defeated this game's villain, which I don't... Oh, it's Captain Quark from the first 2 games. That's... Did not expect that plot twist. All right, so now you're going to see the charge boot movement in action. It's basically Ratchet Deadlocked, but like multiplied. I'll just quickly explain boxies because you are going to see 2 of them on the next planet. The suck cannon is a gun that sucks up things and then spits them out as their ammo. But we can actually stop it from sucking up the boxes all the way. And then if we re-equip it, it'll launch us like really far distances, and it's used in a crap ton of levels in this game. So this is Starship Phoenix. That's a camera clip. The camera is like really useful in this game to clip through objects. I messed up the movement a little. That's fine. It doesn't lose that much time. And now I have a Death Abuse at the very end, which is actually kind of tricky because you gotta like mash in a specific way. I rarely get this without having to do an extra bounce. Whoa, okay, I've not seen that before. I took more than 4 damage. Like my maximum health is 200, and I usually should be at 196 when I take that Death Abuse. I was at 195 for some reason. So this is the LDF. This is like the holy grail of Ratchet runs. So this is Marcadia, which is split up into 3 parts. The second part is like a 5-minute section where you fight some enemies, and it's kind of boring, but we're gonna skip it all completely. So
nice.
First, I'm gonna skip the very first third of the planet by just doing a little technique with the plasma whip here.
Ooh.
I'm gonna wipe out all these enemies because they can get in the way and affect how the boxy works. And I'm gonna wipe out these enemies while being careful not to destroy the box that I need. Now I'm gonna take a death because that will reset where the box is. I'm gonna set my checkpoint in the Ranger dropship because that will allow me to spawn in the final third of Marcadia. I'm gonna once again skip the level, and I have to be really fast here. I died, so I unfortunately have to do a slightly slower strat. If I'm fast enough and I don't die, then I get to do the same movement that I did before, but now I have to do different movements so that I can avoid a checkpoint. And it's pretty easy, just get on top of these boxes, climb up on this rail. And now I'm gonna do some weird stuff with the menuing to manipulate the box in a position that I want. And I just realized the box is in the wrong rotation for some reason. That is actually not good at all, okay. Okay, let's try that again. So I should probably mention, destroying boxes and then taking a death will affect how other boxes are rotated, And it's really strange that the game works this way, but that's how it works, so we gotta accept it. Now it's in the right rotation.
Nice.
And this is kind of a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because then this strat would not be viable like at all, because the default rotation is not in the way we want it, at least for any percent categories. But it's bad whenever something like that happens, because it's like, okay, great, I just lost my run. So do some menuing, swap to lock strafe, and do a particular setup where I look up at the sky. If you want a tutorial on how to do these boxies, I did make a tutorial series split into 3 parts. And now I just need to be quiet for like 1 second to make sure I hit this. Cool, and I hit it.
Nice, GG.
So yeah, by hitting a random gadget, I kind of moved my checkpoint. I'll still respawn in the ranger ship, but since it can move around, it's now moved to the final third. So yeah, that's the Holy Grail skip. And then here's another boxy, in case you can't get enough of them already. Okay, I think I got fast box here. Okay, that boxy's a little bit tricky, so hopefully this one treats me well. This is like a backup box. Come on. Okay, great. I did not get a good shape. Some boxies you gotta adapt to like different frames of the rotation, and that box is really finicky and like never works and is kind of annoying. A lot of any percent runners don't like this planet for this reason, and I can attest to being the 3rd place any percent runner. So thankfully I got it though.
Nice, well done.
Now I'm at the end. All right, so now is a VR skip, and I'll say boxies are quite a controversial strat. This skip alone is why you'll never see me dislike them, because without this, the any percent categories would still be like completely inactive and no one would be playing them, because otherwise you'd have to do like 20 infinite jumps, which are really difficult to pull off. But now with this, we just do a funny little trick. VR skip itself is a way to skip 3 planets, because there's an obstacle course on the Phoenix that we're not supposed to access till a lot later, but its map is always loaded in just to save time on having to load in a new map. And we're just gonna go straight to it. Also, you're probably wondering why the game's in Spanish. We'll talk about that later. This game's really fast-paced, so I have no time to talk about like anything. I timed my triangle input too early. So how are you feeling today, chat? I'm feeling like I'm on a sugar rush, because that's how this category is.
I say you've been talking like super fast, and makes sense. This is a really fast run, so your commentary matches the game perfectly for that reason.
Yeah, I originally for this I actually wanted to play any percent, since that's my 2nd favorite category in this game. My first one being all titanium bolts, but in the interest of time, we cut it down to this one.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing too much derusting, because I thought to myself, you know what? I've been playing the harder category. Surely I'm going to get like a decent run in this. Like there's not much to derust. Like this uses a lot of the same tricks. That was the most poorly aged statement of my life. All right, so this is Dax. This is 2 boxies and a ship. When I get to the ship, I have to, if I don't face a certain way, then I gotta lose like 2 seconds trying to manipulate it to face a certain way, because otherwise I'll risk like breaking some boxes, and once again that will mess up the boxy. I forgot that a triangle input gets eaten every time you come here. So this is Dax boxy. This is also the last planet that will feature boxies for like a couple minutes. Okay, there we go. Get out the plasma whip and... All right.
That is so
All right,
cool.
so now this is the shot cannon. This is a shotgun. When it gets upgraded to its maximum level, it becomes a giant laser beam, and that's how we destroy most of the bosses in this game.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a pretty great weapon. I'd say it's probably my 1st or 2nd favorite weapon of the entire series for this reason alone. Okay, boxy number 2. Make sure I spit that one out. Okay, cool. It's a very rare thing that I forget to spit out the boxes, so I try and suck up a box and I instead accidentally break it, thinking like I didn't have anything sucked up. So that's not good at all. All right, this one's gonna get me to the next level.
Let's hope.
Have a little help from that slope.
Nice.
And boom.
That was so cool.
Easy. And
These
now,
skips are so fun.
you know, I agree. I really like this game a lot. And now Dane, I don't know how I should shorten your name.
Dane's fine.
Since
yeah.
this planet has like one clip and that's about it. So Dane, you got anything important to say?
Oh, I absolutely do. Folks, as a reminder, this stream is sponsored by Superman on HBO Max. A new generation of superhero is here. In this blockbuster, Superman faces off against tech billionaire Lex Luthor and tries to find the balance between his Kryptonian heritage and life as journalist Clark Kent. Critics call it wonderfully entertaining and an awe-inspiring spectacle. Stream James Gunn's smash hit Superman on HBO Max now.
I can attest to that being a good movie. Watched it over the summer, and
Very
really
nice.
liked it a lot.
I have sadly not gotten the chance to watch it yet, and I'm not going to get to until next week. But I'm going to find time next week to sit down and watch it because everybody keeps raving about it, and I really want to see it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like I said, I have like very little experience with DC movies. I watched Lego Batman and this, and so far they're 2 for 2. So back to the game. This planet's pretty basic. Like I said, you got the one clip, but that's really it. What's not basic is what you're about to see. It's you're gonna see what happens. All I need is for the chat to just wish really hard that this skip doesn't randomly fail. I almost messed it up myself. If I mess this up, I want it to be by my own hand. So I did something that's gonna give me a PlayStation 3 trophy, and that's gonna allow me to delay the load screen. And with that, I'm gonna skip like the first 2 missions of this planet.
Oh wait, what?
But also this skip can randomly fail for no reason, so it did not fail, thank goodness. Nobody knows why it can fail, and it's the only, we call this level smashing. This is the only level smash that is known to fail. You're gonna see it 2 more times in this run, and those times, as long as I do everything as I was taught to, I will get it correctly. That's the only one that like randomly fails. It's super rare, but it's pretty sad when it happens. So now I'm on Blackwater City. I believe, I don't remember who described it, but in the Deadlocked run, they did talk about load canceling. This is very identical to that, the difference being that this uses PSN trophies. Deadlocked's load canceling just is a native feature in the game itself.
Nice.
So.
Is that like an engine thing?
Yeah,
or?
now this is Annihilation. These ports are just really strange. For Deadlocked, it's just an oversight. For this game, it's just kind of how it works. And both of those are PS3 exclusive. And yeah, you gotta wipe your trophies, but I got a tool to help me with that. So this is Annihilation Nation. This planet, whoa.
What?
Wait, what the flip? wait, I've never seen this before.
What? Oh, that's never.
I have never in my life seen anything like that.
What?
I think I know why it happened. I know what caused it because I was practicing this mission just before the run, and I didn't quit out of the game. But I've never seen it.
Well, folks, that's our second that's never happened before of the show today.
Wow. Okay. What do I? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to commentate. I guess I'm supposed to commentate.
Hard to commentate when you're speechless.
All right, so if you're wondering why I play in Spanish, there's 2 reasons. One, because the dialogue you're about to hear is fastest on Spanish out of the 5 languages available on this version of the game. The Korean language is actually faster, but PS3 never got Korean, and PS3 is faster for a bunch of other reasons. The second reason why I'm playing in Spanish is because for whatever reason, that skip that you saw on Florana is only possible in Spanish and German. So every Ouya run that you ever see will be done in one of those languages, depending on whether this skip is done.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, nobody knows why. We've been trying to figure it out for like 6 years or whatever, and we have like no leads at all.
Huh.
This is another level smash. It's probably my favorite one in the game because it skips a section that used to kill all my runs. I can't use it in every category, but the more the merrier. So I don't even know how to explain why this level smashes the way it is. But even if I wanted to, I shouldn't be explaining it because I actually need to be quiet because this menu is really tight. Okay, and please, please, please. Okay, cool. That trophy, like, you have... Oh my god, I almost messed it up. You have a lot less time to do that compared to the Blackwater City skip. So, that was really scary. And now this one will ideally not fail at all because it never fails and there are no reports of it failing as long as you do everything right.
OP.
I think Blackwater City could learn. Blackwater City could learn something from this. Right here, I'm just going to do some basic charge boot movement. Dane, you got anything you want to ask me or anything? This isn't like an advertisement thing, chat. I'm just kind of got nothing.
Yeah, if chat has things to ask. I am actually curious because I know you run multiple Ratchet games. What got you into running the Ratchet franchise?
The charge boot movement, and I watched Zem92 run these, so I thought, okay, I'm going to run a Ratchet game. I don't know which one, I just know it's going to be one of the first 4 Ratchet games, and I've run the first 4 games.
Nice.
I've even done runs where I play them all back to back. You'll get to hear a little more about that at the end when I'm glazing myself, or when I'm prompted to glaze myself.
Yeah, Zem.
This is Obani Draco. Yeah, this is a very basic tube level. This takes like 2 minutes to play through casually, and none of the enemies are difficult. So naturally, being in such a tight enclosed space, similar to the Dread Zone station interior from Ratchet Deadlocked, we have a super broken skip. So I land on this tiny platform. Once this water goes down, I'm going to do a whip jump. And I've just skipped like a big portion, but then I'm going to do some charges while making sure to not clip inbounds. And then from here, I just charge to the very end, and I'll get everyone's favorite boss, Courtney Gears, who has killed way too many of my any percent runs for me to not have a little beef with her. In ATB, she's a little bit easier, but in any percent, she's really brutal. I know I'm talking a little too much about like not NG plus categories, just that's what I play a lot.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the game where you're playing, so it makes sense. And sometimes comparing categories is good for just kind of giving perspective on the one that you're playing.
Also, Courtney Gears has made me really mad, and I don't really want to hear her voice anymore, so I'm just going to make her shut up by opening up the PDA. Don't ask why it makes her shut up, it just does. All right, very good, Draco. Oh, wait, I somehow lost 8 seconds to... Wait, what did I do to lose 8 seconds to gold? Who cares?
Was it the weird thing that happened in the planet, or was that a previous split?
Probably just my gold's being off. I have no idea. All right, this is Zeldrin Starport. So there's like 2 parts of the level. There's an optional path, and then there's the main path. The main path is hidden underneath the start of the level. Oops, I bonked. It's okay, I'll just glide. And you can see some enemies there. That's from the main part of the level. I missed the trigger by just a little bit. That's okay. I blame this on the game and not taking any responsibility for common human
We did that
error.
earlier.
There we go.
Nice. GG.
Now I have to set up my weapons. All right, let's see if I get a 50, chat. I got one in my practice run earlier. Let's see if I get it now.
Oh.
This is a second chance. This is a second chance.
Pause stream.
Okay, I'm not getting a 50. I bonked. But it's fine. It's pretty hard. A 50 refers to the act of finishing this mission with 50 seconds on the timer. So Courtney Gears does return. Courtney Gears is actually confirmed alive and Deadlocked, so that's for the chat. I'm gonna do a frame perfect trick.
Oh.
Otherwise, if Dane has anything he wants to ask me, go ahead.
Well, I'm looking, and chat doesn't seem to have too many questions for you, but yeah, as a reminder for folks, we do have our stream today is sponsored by Superman on HBO Max, and this blockbuster addition to the new DCU follows Superman's journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage as Kal-El with his human upbringing as Clark Kent. You can stream it on HBO Max now.
I see somebody saying that they haven't played Deadlocked enough. Meanwhile, I've played it a little too much.
It averages out. It's a yin and yang thing. We've achieved balance. You play it too much. They haven't played it enough.
Okay, so that's Metropolis. The first half, we just do a boxy,
Wow.
and then we defeat Clunk. He's really easy to defeat. One thing that was not brought up in the Deadlock run, but is important to that game and this game, is the weapon management. In most Ratchet games, you swap between the last 2 weapons you equip. In this game, in Deadlock, it's 3. So that means that knowing how to like swap weapons, what order to have them out in, and whatnot, it's really important. Like weapon management's super important in this game. And when I was becoming like much better at this game, one thing that really put me ahead of the curve was that I'd played so much Deadlock that I already knew how to like weapon manage, how the game overwrites certain weapons, how it swaps them around in the order. Are there any you'd recommend outside of a speedrun setting? Pretty much all of them, but my favorite are the first 4 games, especially Ratchet 1, which is not a popular opinion, but I like it a lot because it reminds me of other platformers like Crash Bandicoot and Sly Cooper. But I also like the rest of the PS2 quadrilogy. And the PS3 games got some good stuff in there too. I like Tools of Destruction a lot. I'd recommend pretty much like all of them. Now for a speedrun, yeah, this and Deadlocked are the 2 that I like the most. I'm also really a big fan of the first 2 games, but I don't play them as much. But you will get to see me play the first 2 games soon with a thing I'm going to talk about at the very end of this run, my quadrilogy run that I'll be doing soon.
I'm intrigued.
And I just see a friend of mine from another speedrun community taking part in a weird inside joke, and
I see that.
Hello, Mikey. Oh yeah, for the rest of the game, it's gonna try and make me go to the planet Iridia, but that doesn't give me any new levels, so I don't want to go there. But the cursor will always be there. So it's a meme that mostly for new runners, but even for experienced runners like myself, you might just sometimes go to Iridia and it just makes you feel really silly. What about PSP Ratchet? I actually like the PSP games. That's an unpopular opinion, but I like both of them. So take that how you will. Also, this is Quark's Hideout. This is a really fun level in my opinion, and it's one of the only levels to pretty much never change, even with how much the game's evolved. Basically, there's a mechanic that you see, especially in the runs of the first 4 games. I can't think of anything past the PS2 that does this, where the end of the level is at the beginning. So right here, I'm at the start of the level, and I'm just going to do a quick bit of out of bounds movement, and the end of the level is right there. And this is mostly a thing that devs did so that it's easier to get to your ship. But we're going to abuse that. Oh, I had the wrong weapon out. That's okay. I like that I was talking about weapon management and somehow I messed it up. But, you know, we all stay true to even the most amateur of mistakes. Doesn't matter how good you get, you're still going to make amateur mistakes.
Lord knows that's true.
Now this is Phoenix Rescue. This is 2 straight lines, and that sounds really boring, and that's because 2 straight lines would sound boring in any context, but I might remind you guys that Baby Park is one of the most liked Mario Kart tracks, and that's basically 2 straight lines. So surely 2 straight lines in this series could be fun. Also, that was not fun at all that I just died.
Oh no.
Yeah. I have the base armor, and I actually use it for a... Oh my god, I got the fast movement. Let's go.
Nice. Clean,
that's a
too.
2-frame trick right there. So as I was saying, I actually have the base level armor for a strat I'm going to do on the final boss, but that makes it so that pretty much everywhere else I'm really like prone to dying. I also need like health. I don't have health. I'll just get some on the final boss or something. Or I might risk it and go for a hard strat. A little one. You know what? I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go for a hard strat on Dr. Nefarious.
Pause champ.
I'm going to risk it. I've done it like maybe twice in my life.
Oh, wow.
Their Spyro games are... Yeah, Insomniac also made the Spyro games, and those kind of have the end of the level thing. Shout out to Spyro and Ratchet, the 2 main series Insomniac has made and nothing else. Dane will understand that joke.
I do understand.
This is Koros. This is Koros. I made it to the end of the level with a Boxy. Again, Boxy's really changed this game.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I'm kind of glad they did because they make it a lot better in my opinion. Oh my goodness, that was a Koros gold.
Hey, let's go.
Goodness, I have to
Gold split.
My surprise, I almost said a word I'm not supposed to say on GDQ. I'm just so shocked.
Well, thank you for not, but yes.
So I'm supposed to be on Command Center right now, but I figured I'd pay a visit to my favorite city that originated from Ratchet 1. So this is the final level smash. I used the blimp for Metropolis, and now I'm going to skip all of Command Center. And yeah, this category has gotten so much faster over the past 2 years. Like, record like 5 years ago was just under 28 minutes. And getting a sub 30 and no QE was like the sign of a really good runner. Now it's like a super like basic time that anyone can get.
Wow. Is that just...
I golded Command Center, although I might have split like a tiny bit early. Oh. All right, so I have the base armor because I was going to do a strat where I tricked Dr. Nefarious into thinking I'm dead. So he would be stuck in a laughing animation and he can't do anything. Meanwhile, I just unload all of my bullets onto him to stay true to the name of Crosshair.
Heck
but
yeah.
instead, I'm gonna do it while he's active, and this is gonna be kind of difficult. If I don't get it, that's okay. It's not like I soft lock or anything. That's not sarcasm. I won't like. It's a time loss, but it's not like I can't.
I didn't figure you were being sarcastic.
Okay, I already kind of started to mess it up a little. Okay, I almost had it. Oh well, unfortunate.
No.
That's okay. Also, I went for that stack of crates even though I didn't need to because in my head I was thinking of any percent. I've been playing like a lot of any percent, so my brain is just really any percent pilled. It doesn't help that I'm wearing the armor that I would have in any percent. So, anyways, that's Dr. Nefarious, and now on to the final boss. Timing's gonna end after 16 shots of the Flux Rifle. So, 1, 2, come on, 3, 4. I can't do this while I talk. You can count, chat. I'm gonna focus on this.
All good.
$15, 16, oh, 16. Okay, cool. So on my timer, that ended up being a 2635 RTA.
GG.
We remove 1 second for every long load, which basically, if you saw the load where the ship goes to the right, we remove 1 second every time you get that because it's random. So this is closer to like a 2615 probably, which is cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll admit the start of the run was definitely a bit wonky for me, but by the end we were kind of picking up speed, so I'm not dissatisfied with that run.
Yeah, it was a good run. It was a lot of fun to watch. I mean, yeah, I went a little sideways, but that just makes it that much more entertaining for everyone.
And who knows, maybe one day if I submit this to the big stage, you'll see like a 22 on that.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
It's just practice, you know?
Heck yeah. But yeah,
So
give everybody your shout outs and tell us where we can find you on the internet.
All right, so my shout outs, obviously the Ratchet community. I've made a lot of good friends there. Shout outs to Robo, Scary, and B-Dud, who are also partaking in this event. Robo and Scary were the ones who did Deadlocked, and B-Dud will be playing Rift Apart. Shout outs to pretty much all of the runners of this game, like up your arsenal, that made it what it was. From the early days of people like the Rixer and Insomniac Nintendo, to the modern day runners of Scotto Bozo and Tor Bolin and King DDD, to the ones that have been there for everything like Zem. Not just for like optimizing the game, but for all the new strats. Like just like 3 years ago, this game was pretty much not liked apart from this category. But now with all of our discoveries, the trophy strats, the boxies, this has become like one of my favorite speed games. I'm kind of surprised this was the game I chose, the other game I chose to get good at. I just kind of thought, you know, I'm good at Deadlocked. I need to find like another Ratchet game to get good at, and I somehow chose the hardest one that I ran. But I don't regret it one bit. Let's see. Shout outs to anyone that watched that doesn't run Ratchet. There were a few people from the LEGO community. Shout outs to my IRL partner. I should probably stop doing the shoutouts because I'm gonna feel bad the more shoutouts I do. Because if I forget someone, it makes it that much worse.
Yeah, and everybody I didn't say is always a good way to end that off.
Yeah. Shoutouts to the Hotfix runners. This category doesn't have an up-to-date tutorial yet, but I do have a 3-part tutorial series on the boxies, which pretty much constitutes most of the category. You can find me on, I think my @ is in it's in the title, so just follow me there. Find me on YouTube. It's like AlexEX80B. I don't really know. And then I'll glaze myself by saying that within probably tomorrow or Friday, I will be doing a quadrilogy speedrun. Not of NG+, it'll be any percent. It's going to be like 3.5 to 4 hours long.
Oof.
I've been practicing my hiney off because they're all difficult categories, but I want to run it. So if you guys want to see something really cool, that's a thing for you to watch. And I don't know, watch the new Superman. It's a pretty good movie.
Oh, heck yeah, it is.
That.
You bet. Yeah.
Take it away, Dane.
Yeah, thank you so much for showing it off, for showing us Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal. Folks, we've still got one more run here on our sponsored stream of... Welcome back to Crosshair here on the GDQ Hotfix. We just saw an awesome run of Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal with the Sag Bean, and we're going to be rounding out today's episode of Crosshair with the Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart with our very own B-Dud. B-Dud, welcome to Crosshair.
Hello, thanks for having me. We got a really special showcase of Rift Apart today. I'm joined here by Nautical Turtle and Sin. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure, I can go first. I'm Sen. I'm a Ratchet speedrunner. I've speedrun Rift Apart for a while, and I've speedrun a bunch of other Rat games.
I'm Nautical. I've also done Rift Apart for a while, and a Ratchet game here and there.
And today, basically, for Rift Apart, it's going to be a very fast movement-based game, and we're going to be showing off the fastest category to gain New Game Plus, but we're also going to be showing kind of like a category, like kind of like extension on top of the category, gadget storage, which basically gives us the best movement tech right at the beginning of the game instead of having to wait until Savali like 25 minutes in. So that's going to be really exciting. But yeah, I think we're ready to just get right into it. So
Heck yeah, let's do it.
all right. So time starts when I skip this cutscene. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right, so Rift Apart, it is the latest entry in the Ratchet & Clank series. Well, actually, that's not true. It's because just like last week or earlier this week, I forget when, the famous Clone Home has made its appearance. But yeah, anyways, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is... it came out in 2021. It was my first speed game. It's still my favorite speed game in terms of movement tech to this date. So yeah, I love it a lot. And it's been like it's been 4 years since I started running this. It's the run has developed a lot over the last 4 years. It's actually quite active now, the community with Rift Apart. So
He's a little close to the camera there.
yeah, just a little close. He's just saying hi to his mom.
So when we pick up the blast pistol here is when we're going to get all the gadgets.
Yes, so gadget storage allows us to have everything here. I actually need to shoot this first. Okay. So
It only
gadget
works for the burst
storage,
pistol.
it basically allows us to have these boots instantly. So we're going to be able to do stuff like this instantly. So what I did there was a wrench boost. And this game is very trigger based, so we have to get checkpoints constantly everywhere. So on this island, I got like 3 checkpoints in that one big wrench boost that I did. And then here I'm going to try to get a proxy. I failed to get the proxy, unfortunately.
Yeah,
It's
we like to call this mixed skip.
yeah, because you skip skid here.
Yeah,
But-
so ideally you would go all the way over to like the balloons, so that's where it's gonna like drop them off at. So you get a wrench boost off that little roof and then land over here.
Yeah, casually, there's like probably 2 minutes of just like going on a rail really slow, taking that little orb like we just did there. That wrench boost skips all of it.
Yeah, and like how the trick actually works. So pretty much when we use the shortcuts for like slowing down time, and if you hold L2 and then swing the wrench against like any of these slanted surfaces, you get a ton of speed, and it's really cool. And there's a lot of sections later on where you'll be seeing that. But since this is gadget storage, there is a lot of immediate, noticing of this trick right away.
I don't want to kill this ship too soon, so I'm going to wait till it fully stops. And I'm just going to position here for a second. Oh, get back over there, and then boom, there we go. Good. Yeah, so this, me and Nautical have a lot of history with this level, with it being kind of like kind of more slowest paced and like getting it to the closest second, optimizing it, or more specifically Nautical does.
I've spent too much time on this level that I'd like to admit.
You are the reset master, Nautical, of this level.
I truly am.
He has strived to make sure that he always has the community gold for this level.
And my community gold is about like 5 seconds faster than most runners, because there's so many tiny optimizations for this level. Oh, cutscene warp, nice.
Oh, fell a little bit too far off. Okay.
This is definitely gonna come in handy.
Gonna spawn this ship here, exploded when I see its shadow. And wrench boost over here. But yeah, this movement tech is insane. I've been love just mastering it. It can be like really fun to start playing out with, but it's like something where it's like you can really perfect it once you put in like hundreds or thousands of hours in it to really get like the perfect line on everything that you do. Yeah, it can get technical pretty quick.
The Deadlocked runners put it in a really good way earlier too, that there's not much to learn about this game. There's like maybe 6 or 7 pieces of tech, but knowing what to do as far as like how a lot of the sections work and the checkpoints that we have to hit and all that to make everything work is the most important part of the run.
Yeah, especially with gadget storage as well. Since you're technically not supposed to have the hover boots for these first couple levels, the routing for these is so insane. So just seeing all the movement tech on these levels where you're just not even supposed to have it yet, I think the routing is always been really cool.
Here we're going to restart checkpoint because it consistently lets us shoot Nefarious here 3 times without him doing an attack animation. So essentially he comes back on every phase and he has attack animations, but if we can do enough damage to him or with like specific weapons, then he'll just like go back instantly and not do the attack animation. So it's much harder it's a little bit more tighter on the 100% cats than New Game Plus, but it's still can be a little tough.
Yeah, and I believe this boss can also soft block as well.
Yeah,
I know at least a lot in older patches as well. If you like froze him with the cold snap, he could just kind of just sit there in his ice cube, and you just wouldn't be able to complete it. So there's been so much like solutioning to just this boss, and it's been just really funny seeing all the soft blocks and all the weird ways that we can fight him.
Yeah, there's also if you use the Rhino there with like the Cold Front or the Tobier, because those 2 weapons let you do increased damage with another weapon. Basically, you could do too much damage that goes beyond 0%, and it just can soft block it that way too. But yeah, speaking of which, the Rhino 8, this well, I can't pull out the weapon right now. The big explosion that does a bunch of purple colors, that's the Rhino 8, and it's by far the most powerful weapon that we have in this speedrun. You'll be seeing it a lot. But yeah, as you've probably already seen, it's quite flashy, so small warning about that.
And weirdly enough, the model for it looks very similar to the Sheep and Eater for All for One. I just want to point that out.
Oh,
I just want to point that out.
No, it's not All for One. Isn't it PS4?
No, it's all. Well, actually, yes, PS4 as well. PS4 and All for One. Yeah. I know it's an All for One as well, but the model is very similar.
Here's some more really fast wrench boosting, and it is another series. This planet is another series of a lot of checkpoints that we have to hit really fast.
Not enough speed.
Speed on that one. And then,
okay. This staircase is a little bit tricky because the direction the wrench booster are actually going. You also have to like turn the camera, or because it's weird doing this blind because there's like a robot guy that you can also run into that can be a little bit annoying.
Yeah, I don't like that robot guy. He messes up a lot of my wrench boosts, but
that should work.
Yeah, that's good enough speed over here. So we can just skip this whole like elevator sequence with that wrench boost. But yeah, it's like really tight on Nefarious City is definitely as one where we didn't have to optimize wrench boost on this level before. Coming after it with like tons of experience with wrench boosting, it was still like one heck of a challenge. Everything is like not a lot of openings, everything you can run easily into, so it's hard to get really good speed and actually use it to take you anywhere useful.
Yeah, and during that as well, you also saw like a different type of wrench boost as well. This is probably good to mention that there's different types that we can utilize, and what you saw earlier was like an interrupting wrench boost or an IWB. So instead of like grabbing that full speed, you can actually cancel it and jump in like a different direction with all that speed, and that's actually used a lot in this run as well.
Yeah, there's a bit of a delay right after you do a wrench boost too that doesn't let you jump, but doing an interrupted wrench boost will let you jump. It's like a 1 to 2 second window, I think. But sometimes there's like collision right in front of us that will bonk on, so jumping instantly is very good for us in a lot of these routes. And then the reason why Nefarious City is usually really difficult is because Ratchet's hands are really sticky, and he'll pretty much wall grab anywhere, so you'll end up, like, if you get anywhere within close to a wall, you'll end up sticking to it and losing all your speed. And we just skipped another huge section there where we would have to take all these swing shots and stuff, but we have a nice
don't worry,
big...
we're gonna skip the elevator too, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I actually love the backup for this. Okay, yeah, see, check out this backup. So if this doesn't miss...
it's so close.
Yeah, so there's like a small ramp that you're supposed to get sort of like a bounce off of, but if you miss that, there's another ramp that's like way further away that you can also land on.
Oh, I might be too short this time. Oh my god. We're gonna circle.
Yo, go back.
Yeah, we're going back.
Oh, you got it. Nice.
There we go.
Nice, let's go.
Yeah, so that's the backup ramp, like all the way in the back.
All right.
Oh,
so
yeah, normally
here...
there'd be dialogue, right? That would be hit right here. But
Yeah.
if we like kill all the enemies and then kind of work our way backwards to that dialogue, we'll finish the enemies like while Skid is still talking, and I believe it'll skip like a couple of lines of dialogue.
It's like, well, it's not dialogue it skips, it's like 4 seconds of waiting for some reason. Like waiting for dialogue or for the cutscene to come up. There it goes. So now we got that cutscene instantly.
I wonder how Ratchet is going to get to the bazaar.
I wonder.
Oh, look at that nice big long rail right there. Let's just...
That is a line they say about...
Yeah, a lot of this run, thankfully, is skipping rail sections, elevators, you name it. We don't like those in the Ratchet community, so...
As long as we're hitting like the required checkpoints, we're trying to kind of wrench boost and infinite jump as much as possible to avoid everything except for what we actually have to hit.
And then
I didn't realize he was dead yet.
We should probably explain like New Game Plus fundamentals, right? With the weapons and everything.
Yeah. Well, we do get to skip glitch. Very sad.
Oh yeah, we skip all the puzzles
very
too.
sad.
We don't like puzzles here.
But that's also in every category. You can skip these. So Insomniac added an option to like skip all the optional puzzles like with glitch and with Clank. So thankfully there's no glitches involved at all. It just lets us skip them.
Yeah, it would add like 40 minutes to an hour if we had to do all the glitch and Clank puzzle. I'm pretty sure.
Really would.
I did like one run with them all, and yeah. There's some cool like random Clank tech, but for the glitch, there's not really any tech. But yeah.
So then this dimension was stolen
The heart of the
by
speedrun is with the movement and combat anyway. So.
Bring you here?
Oh yeah, and you saw as well with that cutscene that Udad skipped to skip that puzzle that he paused and clicked skip cutscene. He also has skip cutscene like on like one of his D-pad options. So that's why he doesn't have to pause and click skip cutscene on every single one of these. He actually has that on his D-pad.
hitting its nest might get its
And some other options are on there too, like the photo mode as well as like the slowdown. But I know you can also map that to the slowdown to something else.
And then right here, Beta, we get to through that entire pocket dimension, and then land in the acid because it'll respawn us to our last location that we were touching the ground for, which was technically on the beginning of the portal for some reason, because Rivet doesn't technically touch the ground with hover boots. So you'll see this a lot. But it puts us back there, and then when we go out the portal and restart checkpoint, the game tries to put us on a speedle in just that one specific spot. But if you hold hover boots, which is the gadget storage exclusive, it like ejects you out of the speedle really fast. So that's where all that speed came from.
Yeah, I'm very sorry to say we are not going to be riding any speedles. Another one that we're not going to be seeing.
We're not going to be doing anything slower than hover boots in this game.
Yeah. Very sad because, we loved riding the speedles.
Yeah. Something to mention here with the combat. There's a lot of combat that I'm going from one section to the next, and it's going very fast paced. There is quite a skill to knowing how to spawn the enemy waves as fast as possible and shooting in the exact right position. So it might seem like I'm just like shooting like the ice cube in a random spot, but it has meaning for an enemy that might be coming up in like a few seconds when it spawns there later.
Why are you so hesitant to trust me?
Oh yeah, so this boss that's coming up is Seekerpede. We're kind of going to do the same thing we did before. We're just going to get off the speedle. And the trigger for this Seekerpede, pretty much once an attack hits him at the front, it'll immediately trigger the next part. So we just skip this entire chase.
Yeah.
You're supposed to ride a speedle and land on him and hit a hitbox because the speedle technically does damage when it bumps into him, but we can use that rule to sort of apply any damage to him. And we do this in any percent too. We throw a Shatter Blast away.
Yeah. And another thing you're going to see a lot later in the run as well is Beta. It's like opening the map.
Nice face.
You can get some funny faces. I like the squinty eyes one is a good one as well.
Yeah, I like the squinty eyes.
But what that'll do is that'll prevent the cutscene from Rivet like jumping on the speedle. So you just won't be on the speedle, so you just immediately attack the boss.
Nice. Okay, and then we're gonna do a kind of precise wrench boost. Good, cool. Oh, that's not
I still
gonna make
can't figure that one out.
A little bit short.
You got it with the riff though.
All right, coming up here, I'm going to be doing, so most of the cutscenes are skippable, but there are some like short 25-second cutscenes when we're leaving the planet, like this one up here that's not skippable, but we have found a way to skip it, so it's kind of weird. Nautical, do you want to try to explain it?
So we're basically like not overlapping, I should say loading a game file as well as starting a new file at the same time. So we're loading our run file as the game's starting, and it sort of buffers the input. I'll miss it this time.
I messed it up, so I gotta try it again.
Yeah, so we basically buffer the game for a second, and it triggers this sort of animation that normally when you jump in a ship, you can usually immediately select planets. And we can bypass the cutscene that the game tries to get us to go through. Come on.
I'll try it one more time, and then I'll just go down.
And it'll give us the ship or like planet selection menu. So instead of like having to watch this, I think it's a 35-second cutscene, we can immediately select the next planet.
Nice, got it.
Let's go. Oh yeah, and then the animations are super goofy right now. Because it tries to play the cutscene, but we're just gonna ignore that.
We have a CS warp here. Okay, nice. I got it right above it.
It's good, nice.
A lot of height, but yeah. Yeah, I don't think we explained CS warps.
I can do that one too if you want.
Yeah.
So in a lot of cutscenes for this game, there's sort of a stored momentum as you're flying in with the ship, usually at the start of the level. You're actually, the ship and Ratchet or Rivet are kind of rendered in the cutscene itself. And when you skip the cutscene, you spawn inside of like where the model was, which is in the front of the ship, and it just ejects you out, kind of like we did with the Speedle in Sargasso. and it'll send you forward from the position of the ship with all of this speed, and you could get a lot of different variations with where you land on the Xerxes one specifically, because that ship kind of goes all over the place in the cutscene. So usually the longer you wait, if you wait like 4 seconds, you'll be a little bit closer to where the door is, but getting anywhere near Xerxes in general is like way faster.
And I know you can also spam X sometimes too, and sometimes that'll give you a little bit more kind of leeway.
Yeah, it gives you, does the jump animation, which I think cancels out the forward momentum or something like that.
Yeah.
If you miss it or you go too early, you end up like way out in space because it sends you forward with a ton of speed. And the way it works is you hold any direction, but for most of the ones we do specifically, you hold forward and then mash the skip cutscene shortcut, which we have on the D-pad.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of actual cutscene warps in this game. Some of them are useful and some of them are not.
We'll send you to the other side of the planet Visceron.
But so like the direction you hold the stick, like Nautical said, is important with like skipping cutscenes. So depending on what you have your mapping for your controller, it can be like very awkward, because at least when I do runs, I have skip cutscene on like right D-pad and mine's like super awkward.
Yeah, we use, so normally the D-pad is bound to like weapon swapping, so you can set weapons to the D-pad. But instead, we have photo mode, which lets us do a bunch of funky stuff called PMA, or photo mode abuse, which involves opening the map and closing it while holding the photo mode. And that's how we did some infinite jumps, I think we saw earlier. Yeah. And that's how we're going to despawn some bosses, too.
It's also the thing where you saw here in Sargasso where we had Rivet's funny face come up and it's get that centipede.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
And that basically makes like all of the game's animations and everything continue, even though we're in a sort of frozen state. So that's why the Seekerpede was next to Rivet, and instead of being like way out ahead, and it does some really weird things.
Yeah, it's kind of like that with all Insomniac games, because the Spider-Man games kind of like allow you to do that with photo mode or share menu stuff too. Kind of like have the animations keep going on in the background. But yeah.
Yeah, and then our other shortcuts are slow-mo, which we explained gives us a ton more speed for wrench boost, which is really cool. A wrench combo, which I don't think we actually use in this run anymore, right?
Yeah,
because it's routed out with gadget storage.
Well, actually, no. You would still use it on like Blizzard, it's like later on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So we would use it once, but we'll see that a little bit later.
So we just finished the arena. I massacred my favorite boy, Francois. But yeah, that arena basically, as you could see there, it's kind of just like shooting the Rhino as fast as possible as all the waves came out. So, but now coming up is when we're doing Savali. And it's basically the next 3 planets, Savali, Blizzard, Torn, is what I like to call the Terrible 3. It's where it becomes the most technical parts in the run. It's really reset heavy. Or it used to be with gadget storage. Now the first like full half of the game is just all reset heavy. But yeah, there's a lot of type wrench boosts to hit here. This is where we would normally get the boots if we didn't have gadget storage implemented.
So all that time saved from gadget storage kind of ends here.
So you mentioned Francois earlier. Now, is he going to use the strongest ice attack ever?
Yes, he is. Yeah, I love that 2 of my favorite speed games now both have Francois as like a boss that we defeat a third into the.
So good. It was meant to be. Which one's your favorite though?
Oh, I don't pick favorites. I can't choose amongst my.
All right. Then which one's faster? Oh yeah, now we have the hover boots, by the way.
Yeah, we just got the hover boots, guys. Now the real run begins.
This is where the run begins.
Let's go.
I had to restart Checkpoint. I forgot that's a new game plus. I got to store a specific thing.
Oh yeah, you can soft lock if you don't restart.
You have to like restart Checkpoint twice. I don't know why you have to do it the second time, but I know you just have to do it twice.
I think it's dialogue related, isn't it? Or
Yeah, it's something with like hits dialogue. Okay. I think going back there, yeah, I think with like hits dialogue explains something, and if you restart checkpoint back where you do it, you kind of like just like cancel it immediately. So we should be good now. Yeah, okay. It should be good.
There we go.
This game has a ton of these like on the ground like checkpoints that you have to run into. So a lot of the sequence like you just saw kind of won't even start unless, you know, that dialogue or those cutscenes are finished. And that's just a trend like the whole game pretty much.
Fortunately for some of the soft blocks, we can actually backtrack like Vita just did here and catch that checkpoint and still continue. But if that's not an option, we can still backload, like quit out to the menu and load the game back a save point, but that's a lot slower than most options.
Yeah, and this level Savali is very, I feel like, infamous for the ground, like randomly sizzling you, like it's just the ground, like no lava or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, if you hit most weird shaped objects going too fast, you'll just instantly die.
Yeah. You know. You'll get the Ratchet like, ow, and he'll just like respawn all the way back where you were just at.
Which is part of why the Sargasso, we call it tiptoes, works the way it does. But you'll always go back to your furthest position that you started from. But you do still activate checkpoints, so sometimes if you get like sizzled like that and you go way back to where you started, if you have a checkpoint, you can fortunately restart checkpoint and be a little bit closer.
Yeah, I feel like it might also have to do with like how like the game checks that like Ratchet is like on the ground, like before like if you sizzle and you're like super far away, it might spawn you at either a last checkpoint or in like a really weird spot that's not even close to where you were at.
Yeah, that's
because it only counts Ratchet as like actual like standing on the ground walking as like updating like his location.
All right, we got a really hard trick, infamously the hardest trick coming up, so we'll be quiet for this one.
We'll give the ultimate focus here.
You can explain while I do it. I'm locked in.
This is called Mountain Ascension. We'll let it speak for itself. Ooh.
I was supposed to get a little boost off of that, so we're gonna have to do a few IJs to get up here.
That's all right.
Yeah, but what Vita was trying to do there is there's like a little spot like on that bridge where he can just get a bounce off of and land up to where he's at now. And then he's going to do another wrench boost here. I guess like a... Yep, there you go. Yep, so he did another wrench boost to land off that to get up here. And then there's going to be one final one, but he hit that rock, so
nice.
Made it all the way to the top.
Yeah, so...
I feel if you mess that up, there is a lot of backups for this.
Yeah, there is a lot of backups, but essentially, there's 4 checkpoints going up the mountain, and you can see the checkpoints in the... Like, if you rewound the video and looked in the bottom right, you could see the checkpoints that I'm getting them with the white outline. But basically, every one of those lines of wrench boost that I did went over those 4 checkpoints that I would need to do. And yeah, we've experimented with Mountain Ascension a lot, and it's really hard to get the perfect line to get up there. If you fail one and have to do a backup, you're usually losing like 20 to 30 seconds. So it's one of the biggest time losses due to failing a single wrench boost in the run.
I think thankfully each of them has a backup now. I'm pretty sure each one has a backup.
And they're all
some
really...
more cursed than others.
Some cursed than others.
Okay, come on. Some may or may not be harder than if you would have done the full thing.
Yeah, I like the spot 3 backup though. That's my favorite. Super easy.
And now we got archive skip. So normally you go through the portals to go up to the archives, and it's very cinematic, but we're just going to skip that, wait for Gary's dialogue to finish, and then boom, these enemies spawn, we can just continue to fight up here directly. So yeah, that is one thing I really love about this game. Even though it's like very trigger based, like there is a lot of these like little skips to just optimize here and there everywhere. So
and that archives wrench boost is a lot harder than it looks too. That's like one of the huge lockouts for a lot of early runners.
Because you can either get not enough height or too much height, and you have to like kind of like it's very weird.
Yeah, and you get a checkpoint like out in the middle of no man's land at the bottom when you land.
Oh yeah.
So
if you have to do it again, you're just kind of stuck.
And up here, I was doing a fight where I was using the Rhino's large radius to try to take down 2 big bosses at the same time. Yeah. All right, that is Savali done.
The first of the terrible 3 is done.
GG. Yeah, so while we are heading out to the next planet, I want to remind everybody this stream is sponsored by Superman on HBO Max. A new generation of superhero is here. In this blockbuster, Superman faces off against tech billionaire Lex Luthor and tries to find the balance between his Kryptonian heritage and his life as journalist Clark Kent. Critics call it wonderfully entertaining and an awe-inspiring spectacle. Stream James Gunn's smash hit Superman on HBO Max now. And also thanks to HBO Max, Tier 1 subs and gifted subs are half off right now on the Games Done Quick channel. Feel free to subscribe if you're enjoying the show and support our daily speedrunning shows and events for just $3.
All right, so we're on Blizzard now. At the start there, kind of like the gimmick of Blizzard is you can like change between dimensions on the fly. So there's like a destroyed Blizzard and then like a lively one like this. And so there's gonna be a platform between all of them. Sometimes I am stuck.
Uh-oh, there we go.
Also, right here's the wrench combo. The wrench combo we mentioned before. This is the use.
Oh yeah, and this is really
to
scuffed here. But basically, we don't have control over the camera during this cutscene, but we can move during it. So I'm just gonna go to the next cutscene, or the next checkpoint. So I can see where I am on the map there when I open it. So, okay, we're good. If the screen faded to black, that means that I went into a death zone, but we're somewhere safe. Yep, okay.
So the next cutscene will start immediately, pretty much.
There we go, nice.
Whoever came up with that strat is an evil genius.
Yeah, whoever came up with that must have come up with everything, because they're really smart.
Yeah, I wonder who came up with that.
Ooh, I
like this one. I like this one. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that was a setup that Nautical did. Well, I kind of figured out the initial
You found it.
Nautical made a consistent setup for it just last week, which at this point, there's not a lot of new stuff really being found for the game. So that's very exciting to see recently.
Yeah, and weirdly enough, the checkpoint for that is like before you even enter the cave, because the floor is supposed to break and there's like an entire cave section. It's like the checkpoint is just before you even go in, and then the next one is like at the end of it.
Oh, have we explained dialogue meeting? I don't think we have, right? I can't hear anything, so it's kind of lost on me.
I know we definitely haven't, but if you want to see the photo mode, like kill a boss, you're about to see that.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So
Unleash the photo mode.
So yeah, so the photo mode is just gonna
he's going.
There we go. So what happens? What happens
He's in
is
the lava,
that boss.
by the way.
No. So that boss is scripted to like move forward as he comes out of the portal. But if in photo mode, his player model is still moving, but it won't stop moving forward, and it moves him into the pillar that we're standing on, and he clips him into the pillar, and he dies.
Wow.
So that's why we have to wait about 4 seconds. There's the timing on that one. And then you'll see later, there's one on the next level that will just drop one of the bosses straight through the floor of the ship. And you'll fall into the death point. That one's my favorite one.
Out of anything you'd never guess, the camera is going to kill a boss.
All right, we have a very famous trick coming up here. It used to be called the All for One skip in honor of All for One as a game, but we have an advanced strat for it, which we dubbed All 8-1, just because obvious. 4 times 2 is 8. So, but it's basically doing the checkpoints for this next section kind of out of order. So what I'm going to do here is a really long wrench boost, and I'm going to go straight to the end of this level and basically get the checkpoint that starts right here with the crank. And once I pull this crank, I have like 20 seconds before the enemies start spawning here. So then I'm gonna go back, get the checkpoint that I should have gotten, because the game doesn't progress if we don't get all the checkpoints. You can get them out of the order, and it still like progresses certain things, but you have to get all of them before the end. Otherwise you just won't be able to progress. So yeah, I literally go back and forth on that rail grind like a total of like 3 times, like all the way down it, back, and then all the way down it again. But once you get that checkpoint at the start of the rail section, then it spawns like this cutscene for you to do. So I started the fight. This fight's still going on while this cutscene's coming up. Like the ships are getting into the right position and dropping off the enemies, so that we don't have to waste time with the enemies being dropped off. Sometimes you need to blow up the ship too. Yeah, sometimes you do. Which the ship already left, so we'll just have to wait 2 seconds for it to despawn.
Yeah,
that's all right. That
the
was
ships
still good.
do stall sometimes, but it's not that bad.
And this is the only instance that we are currently aware of where we can do things out of order. Most of the game is very strict about its checkpoints and how things are done. Oh, here's my favorite weapon combo.
Oh yeah. So we use a very specific combo of weapons here to just kill this boss.
Boom, ship's dead.
It's like topiary, wait for it to get sprinkled, then ice, and then warmonger, and then it just dies immediately for some reason. I think we have some theories that like because there's like enemies in them that it might be because like the exploding shards, but
Yeah,
I don't know if there's an official reason.
Yeah,
No, that's
in
it.
100% runs, you have to have the cold front to at least level 5, and that's like when you activate. I'm pretty sure that's the ability where like ice particles shoot out from the enemies. So I'm pretty sure that confirmed that that's what it is. But
Yeah, so all the enemies that come out of the dropships, their hit models are like loaded inside of the dropships, and this applies to both. Oh, death there, unlucky.
really hard wrench boost here.
Yeah, this one's tricky. And that applies to both the Nefarious Trooper and Goon dropships. So you'll see a couple more sort of instances like that where we shoot down some dropships and it'll basically progress fights, fight-related like triggers.
This level also has a lot of like really long rail sections, and the very first long rail section we just completely skipped.
Yeah, so it was kind of hard to see there, but the way that I was going about the wrench boost on where I died, there's 2 checkpoints on the rail system that you have to hit, otherwise you don't trigger the cutscene at the end. So I was trying to get there. The death barriers and death walls are very unforgiving in this. It's a kind of a way where, you know, if you fall off the rail, Insomniac wants you to be able to die fast and get back on the rail quickly. But in terms of us going out of bounds, it's very hurtful. So it's very, very precise on where we fly, pretty much.
Yeah, and if you do get stuck on the rail, thankfully for some reason you can just like spam X and you'll just come off the rail. But it is a little bit annoying though.
So this is the boss coming up that flies. Are you going to be able to show him dropping out of the bottom of the side?
So I don't.
If you like jump, if you jump to the after the PMA, if you jump to the side of the ship, you might be able to see him like dropping.
Oh.
Nope.
Whoa!
He's really up there now.
Oh, it does.
Oh.
We're gonna kill him anyways.
Oh yeah. This would be another boss that we would use photo mode, and he would just like clip through the ship and just die.
Yeah, I don't know why I accidentally just left photo mode early.
That's all right. We still kill bosses really fast. So.
Yeah.
I'd be happy if I never
However,
saw
there is supposed to be a boss coming up here
Oh, yeah.
that we're just not even gonna see.
We're gonna do it
arrives
again.
on a ship. He's supposed to show up on like a ship. You can actually see him there a little bit in the background, and yeah, we're just oh there he is.
Oh,
There's
there
the
he
boss.
is. Yeah, there's the boss. So I think the ship keeps moving, but the boss like stays where he was on the ship and just drops straight into the death plane there, or despawns, something like that. I don't know.
And we're gonna use that perfectly placed metal sheet to get a
beautiful.
bounce.
That one, that wrench boost used to be so hard because we just used to hit like this tiny little metal pipe. And it had to be a perfect wrench boost. Oh, that killed so many of my runs. And now we're gonna jump off the rail. Nice.
Yeah.
So restarting checkpoint and spamming jump gives you a like probably a 2-frame window where we can just jump off the rail and the game will detach us from the rail and then we get to keep going. And then we're back on the rail, and now we're gonna be back off the rail.
Yeah, we're like kind of on and off the rail here. Like we really don't want to be on the rail, but we kind of have to at the same time. It's a very struggle relationship with the rails.
Did I get that?
I think you got it. Yeah, you did, because you got the dialogue.
No.
Oh, that one you didn't
I don't
get,
think
though.
so.
I think I might have missed one earlier.
It might have been right at the Fixer PMA. Oh, it was.
Yeah,
that one's really tight because you have to PMA right before you hit the rail because that's where the trigger is to continue progressing.
What? Yeah, there's a
death barrier behind you there for some reason.
Wow.
I don't think I've actually seen that death before.
I need a
you want to spam dash, yeah. You can phantom dash through death barriers, kind of. Because the phantom dash makes you invulnerable.
Oh my god, Rivet. Okay.
This
rail is being very unforgiving right
now.
I'm just gonna go the normal way. Like what I'm trying to do right there is like a 5-second time save. So
yeah, funny enough, those like walls that you can jump onto and like wall run on, those can actually give you speed. It's really weird.
Yeah, it sends you flying into
rail. Yeah, you can just go flying, get tons of speed on rails. You won't see any of that in this, but it's very funny.
I need to get on the rail. There we go.
Do you have any ideas? Because I'm having a hard time.
There we okay, that's the dial. Nice.
I am working on it.
Okay, get that checkpoint, go through the rail, and then we grab that, dash, grab it, dash, and then that barrier should be gone.
That one's really hard.
Yeah,
that one
almost has like a
curl
box
shot.
around
Yeah,
it.
it's a full box of death barriers around it.
So you have to be like directly in front of it as if you were like on the rail to be able to grab that. So if you grab it from like a diagonal or anything, you'll just die. Thankfully, it's not that bad because it will still spawn you at the end section, but you will lose some time.
Yeah, and then what you see there is we're PMing as like towards the end of the hurl shot. It sort of preserves our momentum from the hurl shot for some reason, and will send us flying in a direction. But we have to do it at very specific points. Otherwise, we'll just get sent flying into like death planes and stuff like that. So the timing on those is a lot tighter than it looks.
Got everything handled
All right,
now.
that is Torn though. That is what everyone thinks is the hardest pin in the game, which makes sense. It kind of is.
Yeah.
It's definitely
and this
up there.
next level. Oh, thankfully, Beta just. got
thread
it
the
right
needle.
there. Yeah, so you can do a cut. You can do a cutscene warp right there that just shoots you really fast. So like the second you can see what's going on, you pretty much have to cancel it right away. You can also get some slower speed on that if you like jump into that cutscene warp, but you're gonna have to be careful because you might like cut it too short as well. This level has a ton of like, especially right here once this elevator gets to the bottom, there's a really cool wrench boost that looks really awesome because you're going through all these like really tight like corridors with like a really fast wrench boost, and I feel like this is one of the more like impressive sections to do correctly in terms of wrench boosting.
Yeah,
and we can't skip this elevator too, unfortunately. We have to ride this.
In other categories, there's a reason to go. You can actually go out of bounds. Like the only thing that needs to get the checkpoint at the bottom is the elevator reaching the bottom. You don't have to actually be at the bottom for the checkpoint to get hit. So we can do out of bounds shenanigans and like all gold bolts and get the gold bolts while we're waiting on the elevator to go down, which is pretty cool. But in New Game Plus, like there's nothing that we can do. So swing shot bling.
Oh, very clean movement.
We don't get to show off the swing shot flings too much, but if you do like get on the swing shot, then get off it and jump immediately and chain that together several times, you build up speed really fast. So it's a good way of getting, when you can utilize them, it's a good way of getting to point A to B really fast. Yeah,
we really only get to see him at Nefarious City, I guess, is pretty much it. And one on Sargasso.
Checkpoint there, and then spawn junk bot. So he starts to die.
Shout out to Junk Bot. My favorite NPC, Junk
My
Bot.
least favorite NPC.
We're at his will in the speed run. We just have to wait for him for a lot of things. But he is very funny. I will never forget on the very first patch of this game, you can crash if you Rhino Junk Bot. I'll never forget that.
Oh, I remember that.
So
the game requires him.
I notoriously have a clip of me rhinoing him right here in this elevator, and I crashed.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like I shoot one shot and just immediate like crash.
We used to think on the very last fight, you used to be able to push the Emperor through the ground with the Rhino too, because all of the Rhino objects have collision. And you can actually clip with them, but because each item has its own collision, it's 100% random. Well, not random, I think.
The T-pose.
Oh, yeah,
we saw them for like 3 frames. We all saw that.
A half a second.
If you didn't, you could always rewind and see it.
Yeah, there's a guaranteed T-pose there. Yeah. There used to be one, I think you can still do it on Blizzard with Rivet right after the first crystal, or the second crystal.
Although this bolt crank, for some reason, does not require you to complete this fight, which is very, like, not ordinary for this game, because it requires you to do, like, every fight to turn bolt cranks.
Well, back in release, though, there was more than that one. The Savali one, yeah, they used to be like that, but they made some of them required.
It's very strange. So, yeah, that one at the top of the archives that you saw earlier on Savali, that one you used to be able to turn without doing that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought it was intended because there was a couple that were like that, and then there was a patch that came out and Insomniac kind of put a lock on that one, and we're like, wait a minute, so that's not intended? But they left. But they left this one.
Shout out to the devs though, because they did have a problem with a lot of casual players running into wrench boosts, because you used to not have to hold L2 and reach full speed. People were just kind of doing it all the time. I mean, it was found within the first like 24 hours, right, of the run.
Oh yeah, because it was so easy to do.
It was so easy to do. So everybody was wrench boosting everywhere. But instead of removing it in general, the devs actually left us a way to do that by reaching full speed on the hover boots and holding L2. So huge
it's almost like they patched a way to do it. They were like, let's just like design it as a mechanic instead. So they added the button, you know, and they made it so you had to be at full charge. So something they really didn't have to do, because if they didn't do that, then this game wouldn't even have wrench boosting. So it would have been patched out completely.
Juice
so
high five, let's go.
I had to make sure to give
They also patched in, Juice needs high fives every time you're there. They also patched in, not patched in, but like they added the skip cutscene shortcut and inadvertently added cutscene warps.
Yeah.
Wow.
They gave us something we wanted, and then a glitch became of it. Because originally you had to skip every cutscene by pausing and clicking skip cutscene, and there's so many cutscenes in this game that adds up to a lot of time. I still remember when we first started speedrunning this, it was very like annoying having to pause every time. But when they introduced, they call them speedrun settings. Like they actually have an option called speedrun settings, and you're able to like obviously map the shortcuts and everything. So that was something that they added in, but it spawned a new glitch that they didn't end up fixing at all.
So something that I did right there was I closed the app completely and relaunched the game. That's intentional because in this category, if you go so fast with all the checkpoints, eventually the loads, like I don't know what it exactly is, but it's like a memory problem where the game just can't handle it, and the loads start becoming like 30 seconds long for some reason. And
it gets exponentially longer too. Like every cutscene skipped or checkpoint restarted.
It's funny mentioning this now after it's been so long, but we used to call this like save file corruption.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of like very
corrupt file is so optimal. How do I get it? I have no idea.
There used to be a lot of very odd theories, and those, including myself, that thought that it was faster to have a file that was like that because you didn't have to like restart the app. Like for some reason the game was like so far gone that like it was always perfect. But we realized way too late.
Let's go.
Like a year late, we realized that like it actually wasn't faster because of some sections later on in the game.
Yeah, so it got down to a point where I couldn't figure out how to get save file corruption, and this was when I was like just barely top 10, and all the top runners had the file corruption. But
and it was random, by the way. Like
it was completely random.
It was completely random. Like sometimes you would just wake up, do rounds, and you're like, oh wait a minute,
I'm not getting checkpoints anymore. Let's go.
Well, yeah. So that's how you could tell, by the way. So in the bottom right, as B-Dud mentioned, like towards the start of the run, like there's an icon that appears when you're hitting like the triggers and the loading and everything. If you had a file that kind of, I guess, with this memory issue is a big problem, that icon just wouldn't appear at all. So like you would still
Past
progress as
Savali.
normal,
Yeah,
but you would
once
never
you hit
have that
Savali.
icon.
Yeah.
And your save file would be stuck at 25%.
Or in some cases, it's there permanently. Like it's just trying
that's
to
right,
save, and then it just never can. So that's like when it like happens, when the corruption like state actually happens. Yeah.
But eventually we found out that the save corruption formula was just to never do save corruption.
Yeah, so I was doing comparisons off of ComGold and like top runs to figure out. I was like losing so much time somewhere on Sargasso. And for some reason, when you have corrupt save file, we technically were saving 15 seconds by not having to close the game and reopen it on Cordelian like we did there. But we were losing like 26 seconds because on Sargasso 2, you have to restart or restart checkpoint after blowing up one of the dropships. And that like, what did it do? It like reset all of the ships, and you had to restart checkpoint for every single ship instead of just throwing the bombs at it regularly, like in the Trudy section. So it was actually losing time, more time than it saved on Sargasso.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think we only discovered that when we realized that like someone had like a really good gold for Sargasso 2. I still remember because like I'm pretty sure we were in a VC and we were
it was
watching that
untouchable.
gold,
It was
we were like,
untouchable.
how is this gold so fast? And then that's when it hit us. Like, wait a minute, we're like totally placebo effect right now. I'm like save corruption. Like this is actually saving.
Because nobody ever noticed like what was going on with the checkpoint restart because it was just like anyone with corrupt file was like, oh yeah, we just have to restart checkpoint here to
the
kill
only
the ships.
people that ever had the corrupt files were the people that ran the game the most, and those people naturally ended up being like those top 5, like top 3 runners. So there was almost no one to question it outside of like those people. So it was like heavy placebo where we're like, oh yeah, it's saving so much time.
So fast, it's so fast.
Yeah, but now that we know so much more, it's really funny looking back on that.
Oh, nice. So you can topiary between like the phases there. Sometimes the topiary effect lingers on Dr. Nefarious, and if it does, we get to use a Rhino, a Warmonger, and a TNT block that all deal damage at him at the same time. So we got a fast fight there at the end. Very nice.
Yeah, the topiary is like a damage buff or like a debuff for enemies, so they'll take a basically max damage for the Rhino shots. So Topiary Rhino is like our main DPS for bosses, but our other one, which I think we saw earlier in the run for like the Nefarious City Juggernaut, if you set your fire settings to hold, so when you hold the trigger down you keep shooting, and you have the Warmonger and Cold Front equipped, you can hold the trigger and spam triangle between the two, and you'll just max DPS non-stop constantly if you have infinite ammo on, which we do. So you could try it yourself. It's super easy, and it just shreds bosses.
Yeah, I guess as you mentioned it, just real quick, the gold bolts give you like a bunch of extra stuff. Like Nautical just mentioned, like infinite ammo. There's also like infinite health and like gold weapons and weird stuff like big head mode, tiny head mode, all the funny stuff. So yeah, we actually utilize those in the New Game Plus speedrun so we can have infinite ammo and have infinite health. We can still get like pushed back, I guess, or like sizzled, but we can't like actually take damage.
So we won't like, when enemies hit us, we won't stagger and lose like a second to an animation or whatever. Here we go. So yeah, this is the Cold Front Warmonger spam. Nice. Just melts bosses.
Oh, he's still alive. There we go.
And I love how someone is alive, you can just spam the Rhino because the enemies will just come up to you anyway, so.
Yeah. This category, you know, like it's a lot of just knowing where to shoot the Rhino and knowing the spawns really well, but like it's also interesting these sections, especially this level on like any percent or AGB. You are running out of ammo a lot, and there's a lot of ways where we try to maximize our weapon leveling exactly perfectly to make sure that we have just enough ammo or know exactly where we can get more ammo along the way to just be very precise. So
and this section right here that we're about to do is the section we were just mentioning that we said saved time on, you know, the older ways we used to run this game, but So I believe there is like a dialogue line that can actually be skipped here, like towards like right after this, right?
Yeah, so this is where the time save comes from. Is if you shoot these shields, it just skips like I don't know, like 8 to 10 seconds, I think.
Yeah,
it's
somewhere
like
around
3 lines. It's like 2 or 3 dialogue lines. I think it's like Kit, right? It says I forget what exactly it is, but you have to like do the movement here like specific way. And like for some reason she just doesn't say it.
Yeah, and then the bombs just spawn. Yeah, and then we can just throw them. But oh yeah, so that's what it was. So in Corrupt File, the shields never came up. So you would have to fly to each ship and blow it up with Trudy, and then restart checkpoint, and then do it again. So that's where all the time loss was coming from.
Shout out to the Morts.
They have great lines.
Who's your favorite Mort?
Oh, Mort, of course.
My favorite Mort will always be the socks one. The socks one.
Taking off
the one riding the bull. The one riding the bull in Circus. Yeah. That's my favorite.
We named the Morts based off what they say.
We're already at our goal list.
Yes,
that rock.
Is another Todd returning planet, and there is a full wrench boost. You can get all the way through this cave to the door. But if you do mess it up, like it's not like a huge loss.
We got the base boosted wrench boost right here.
Yeah, this game has very funny speedrun strat names because I think the ones coming up with the names were us 3, so all of the speedrun strats have funny names.
No, we didn't get to see whipped cream, unfortunately.
And no one batted an eye at it at all. So like, even though all of these are really just wrench boosts and bounces, each like setup has like a name. So this one is called base boosted.
Something dash chain on Nefarious City.
So I'm supposed to go over the mountain, but this is an old strat where we used to come down here instead and get the checkpoint.
I think this is still faster, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's
to actually go through, but only if you get like right on top of the hole and get down. But it only saves like a second or two. Yeah,
you have to land straight into that spot for it to actually save time.
Yeah,
but it's really tricky because you have to have a very specific amount of speed and you have to have a very specific angle on like that boost. So a lot of the time it's like not even worth it.
But going over the mountain is way easier. And then if you land on the that slope that Beta bounced off of, you can actually just kind of skate up it anyways and get to the top and do a wrench boost up there, so you don't lose too much. And then we muted Pierre's dialogue here also.
Yeah, this saves the most time out of any dialogue mute, which is again just opening menu and then share menu and then exiting. Just mutes that person's currently talking dialogue, and just gives us the checkpoint immediately to go to the next area. And this is kind of good because if we don't restart checkpoint, nice, I got that. That's
nice,
kind of hard one to get. By having them dialogue muted, it can sometimes just like open this door instantly and let us press the button instantly here instead of waiting for the dialogue. Which it didn't this time. It could be a little finicky, I guess.
Yeah, we saved the most time with dialogue mutes on Ardolis alone. I think it's probably in the neighborhood of like 30 to 40 seconds.
Did you miss a checkpoint?
Maybe.
I think you went through I think you went too fast.
I think I did go too fast. That is really rare that I'm that fast at that.
Because normally we get the rotating and then go. Yeah. There
you go. They're actually too good at the game.
Too good at the game.
Quickly.
This just in.
You can be faster than the game.
You've heard of failing up. This is succeeding down.
Exactly.
So this is a shanty time. Me and my community love this because we can sing shanties, but essentially we're not going to have the green pirate sing a shanty. We're going to mute him. So we're going to do a dialogue mute as we do, but then we're going to use a spy bot in the menu to play an audio log, and that's going to kind of like override his dialogue lines so that whenever he starts, he's just immediately going to finish them. And it's good because the green pirate, he yaps a lot. So
a lot.
Yeah, and this is the only one you can mute as well. Like you can't mute any of the other ones, right? I mean, you might be able to, but I feel like the sequence just doesn't even work.
Yeah, whenever he's supposed to talk, he just kind of stutters. So that's when we skip like at least 3 dialogue lines.
Oh, he's a yapper. He's a yapper.
And I think you can mute the other pirates, but the setup it takes to do it for each one is just longer than
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, if it was only you could mute one at a time or if the setup was too long. I think the setup was too long, yeah.
Yeah.
And thankfully right here, there's just a checkpoint that's just lingering below this rock. Because you're supposed to ride an elevator here and then go through a door after some dialogue, but you can just hit that checkpoint and skip all of this. And also shout out to Insomniac for leaving just a hole in this wall.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just go behind.
Yeah. That's the easiest out of bounds you'll ever see.
Yeah, you can just jump through that. Like, no glitches involved. You can just wall jump straight out of bounds and just go under here. And this is actually, we're going to be skipping... kind of like skipping a boss here. Pretty much we're going to be turning a wrench that you would normally have to do after a boss. But we're going to do it right now, and Dita's going to line this up with like the dialogue. So he knows like when to turn it. So there's sort of like the audio cues of this to know when to fire and when to turn the wrench.
I think you almost just got pushed to the ground there.
And you don't want to go too fast here because you only, once you start rising up, does the crank actually go through with giving you the checkpoints. Yeah, if you pull the crank too early, you just completely soft block yourself pretty much because the game wants you to pull a crank and you can't pull a crank anymore. So.
And then the game forces us to get that armor collectible there, but if you spam dash, you can get a dash input in and start the next trigger while you're picking up that armor piece for some reason. I don't know why. And then the door, if you don't do that, the door just won't be open for like 4 seconds.
It's because the pirates have to like congratulate you and stuff before the door opens.
So this is what we dub the auto scrollers. It's basically a 2-minute auto scroller where we can't do anything. We do have to kill the enemies when they come, but it's pretty straightforward. But there's always a fun time to just do what, like I always like to mess around with some of the weapons. So especially since it's the Crosshair event, can show off a few of the weapons that I have in the weapon wheel. So like we have.
Show the do the migraine while hover booting.
I don't. Oh, while hover booting. Oh yeah. How was that done again?
So you hold I think it's L2 and then dash and then hold R1 while you're dashing. Wait, maybe it's not L2. Maybe just dash and hold R1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Nice. So this works with any weapon, but for some reason the migraine is the only one you can shoot while hover booting.
We also, don't have all the weapons on this file, but I have some like auto turret type weapons. Everyone's favorite weapon, the bomb voyage.
Oh, the bomb voyage.
It's actually like the worst DPS weapon in history.
Oh yeah. I can only imagine what this weapon was like in playtesting. Like they're just testing this. They're like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, it's so pointless because half the enemies are flying and it won't even target flying enemies.
The bomb voyage, by the way, it shoots like single projectiles, like
that do the least
at a very
damage.
slow pace.
You
can see it right here. And the only advantage to the upgraded version is you can just have 2 instead of 1.
I had when I first played this game, I had such high hopes. I thought it would be so cool because if you look at the icon and the picture and the weapon vendor, it's like, oh, it's this cool glove and it's got this awesome icon. And then I bought it on Somali or whatever it was.
Kind of just like it just drifts away into existence. Like it's shooting into the water right now. It just kind of does its own thing.
It does have a little bit of a lock on, but I mean, it's not good. The pick slice is pretty
It's notoriously easily like the worst weapon in this game by like a long shot.
All right, so we're gonna restart checkpoint here. Makes all the enemies spawn instantly, and we're just gonna kind of Rhino Warmonger, get that checkpoint, then do this little wrench boost, go up here immediately.
Nice. That one's pretty hard too. You can sometimes just like stay stuck to the stairs, and then you gotta try it again.
And the way you do that wrench boost is actually kind of important too, because you can also run into like the parts of the ship and just like not even get a wrench boost, or you can get like stuck on the sides and not even hit the stairs.
You know, you two make pretty good pirates.
Yeah, the stairs can be unforgiving sometimes, so only go up them when you're going at a high speed, or else, the checkpoints on this section of the game sets you back really far.
And just make sure you don't use slowdown on that. That's something as well to mention, is that the wrench boost speed is different whether you're using like slowdown and like not using slowdown. So throughout the run, you've seen a mix of using both.
Vision also changes when you're in slow-mo too. So if you hit certain slopes while in slow-mo, you'll have different like heights and stuff. It's super weird.
All right. So we have the Tide Twins over here. I'm gonna try to do damage to them, but the game soft locks if you kill both of them before you go over there. So what I'm gonna do is shoot 2 Rhino shots to the right, so I know that I can kill the right enemy, and then that I know that the left guy's only like 1 hit away when I get over here, or 2 hits away. 21% is 2 hits. So there we go.
Oh yeah, we do have damage numbers turned on, which is another one of the Gold Bolt's toggleables. And you'll see like the Rhino damage shot on bosses is like around 4,000, but when you use a topiary or a cold front, it'll be 9,999, which is basically max damage.
This game has such insane like damage boosting weapons. Like I feel like the other games in the series don't have like a lot of the passive stuff that's in this game, where it's like you have a turret or something else that's really going to increase your damage with other weapons.
No way. It must be nefarious. The archives held the dimensional
All right.
map, correct?
We got 3 plants left.
Rivet. Kit.
And rip the archive. Nefarious, you know, he destroyed the archive.
I purposely fall off there to skip the dialogue here at the beginning. Barely saves time, but
I know that.
Yeah, it's something that I never got to implement in runs back in the day, because it was something after the fact.
So I did find on new game runs that if you don't kill the nefarious troopers that are to the left of that barricade over there, then it'll spawn like 20 extra bone goons.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
So if you, I was so annoyed by it the other day, but if you kill all those guys, like go forward and then walk back into the cutscene trigger, it'll only spawn 3 bone goons on the right side and then 2 up high, and it'll progress that way faster for the checkpoint.
That's interesting. See, Nautical, maybe you would have known about that if you checked like the beta, the archive dump channel.
Yeah, you're so right.
The mysterious drops.
We're gonna try and kill this guy, so we start Dr. Nefarious's line early, because it's not just you going up the elevators quickly. You also don't get the next checkpoint until the dialogues of Nefarious is finished talking about Lance or Janice or whatever they're talking about.
There's like 20 ways to soft lock this elevator, by the way.
Yeah, if you don't kill the enemies fast enough, the elevator tries to go slow, because the game's like, oh yeah, we want to try to keep it like cinematic as the elevator's moving up for you to finish the fight. But yeah, like I've lost like paces just due to like not paying attention or not knowing that was something that I had to pay attention to, and it like loses me like 15 seconds. So
yeah,
this elevator's movement speed is also very strange.
if you stand in certain spots,
sometimes it rises slower. I've seen it rise pretty slow, so I don't even know if that ever got figured out on like why that.
I stand at the back of it, like towards the outside.
I've always stood at the back as well, and it seems to go up faster. But I don't know if that's like placebo, and like we're just like
it might be. I don't know.
But I have no idea.
At the very beginning, the first elevator, we kill that one guy with the blast pistol really early to progress the dialogue. But if you use like a warmonger or something and kill too many of those small guys, then it soft locks. So you just can't progress to the next elevator. Nobody knew why that was for the longest time. Everyone just waited.
Oh yeah, right there, Beat had skipped. Well, not skipped that cutscene, but he started using the hover boots while that cutscene was playing, and he can just move across that first gap like early.
okay, so we have 3 pressure plates that we have to go to. We do have time between each, so if I don't get a fast enough wrench boots, it's not like I'm wasting optimal time. So I just need to get there within, about 5 seconds after the last one, or 8 seconds, I guess, something like that. We have Catacomb skip coming up here, so we have another Speedle section up here that we're of course gonna skip because Speedles are slow. They're cute and they're fun, but we're not gonna spend time with them in this run. So yeah, basically kind of like Mountain Ascension. There's multiple checkpoints that we have to get here that we're gonna get kind of like with one line. One big speed boost, so hopefully I can get one right
This looks good.
Here, one right there.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm gonna have to IJ for this. Cool. And then one right there. Cool.
That's also such a punishing section there. It's very easy to mess up that wrench boost.
It is.
If you don't restart checkpoint and you just go through that door, also your weapon wheel just won't work.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and now's the time where we're gonna
swears, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Nice. It's okay. We muted it. We muted it. It's fine.
Yeah. So Clank swearing is actually like a strat, like in this game. Sometimes he doesn't swear if you do this too fast, but when he does like his holy bleep sort of thing, if you mute that, it skips some stuff.
Yeah. Clank swearing saves us time.
My favorite time save. And then we also killed that. That boss actually has a huge health pool and is definitely one of the more difficult bosses, like casually. But it spawns a ton of goons next to it, which the Cold Front again does its like damage stacking thing, so we can shred that boss pretty fast.
I will say that boss, like wrench only, on like
wrench only nightmare. I was about to say the same thing.
Legend is impossible. I've never beaten that fight because the bone goons like. They like predict where you're gonna walk, like in their aim, and there's so many of them. It's just so difficult.
Now we're on the planet with the highest crash rate.
Yeah, don't IJ over the water, or else your game.
People are very unlucky. There's some unlucky stuff with this water here.
Yeah, just PMing over the water. We don't know why. Just almost guaranteed crash every time.
Yeah.
There's like, it's kind of case by case though, because like. I used to have it happen every time, no matter what, in my runs, but I've been able to lately a couple times. It's terrifying. It is the scariest thing you can do because the crash will lose you like 30 seconds.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it just depends on who you are. That's just what it is.
Yeah, it's how the game feels.
PS5, right?
Yeah.
You either got the good PS5 or not, you know?
I remember, I think, didn't Mobius do it in 2022 4 times? And I was just like clenching my seat the whole time. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I think it was actually during something with GDQ, and Mobius like PMA'd over that water like 5 times in a row and like didn't crash, and we were just very
I was
by that. We were like, whoa, like
yeah, no. So that happened. That happened, right? And then there was another relay between, I think it was VDUD and Optimal X, or was it?
Optimal X did crash,
Optimal
I'm pretty
X,
sure.
yeah, Optimal X crashed from Viscera on IJ. I remember that.
That might have been when it was me against him when we did the like the robot skins, like the red and blue. Yeah, I remember. that.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
He
Yeah, it
crashed
was.
on Viscera on his first IJ, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way.
Something like that.
So yeah, don't IJ on Viscera. Yeah, shout out to Optimal.
Maybe he'll come back once like the corruption gets fixed.
Yeah. I think there is a way to fix corruption though, isn't it? You just have to beat the Emperor, I thought, one more time.
Yeah, there was a way. I think you're right. It's been a long time.
Yeah, Optimal X used to have world record like a while ago, but I love to meme on that because that was like their run description was like, oh, I'll come back once like the corruption gets fixed. But they never ended up coming back, so it's been like a little bit of a meme.
Somebody let them know.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever watched. Guys, it's been like 4 years. Are they coming back?
Somebody send a DM.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
This one's pretty tricky, but nothing's loaded over here, so we just go out of bounds.
So you're usually waiting for like 20 seconds for a gate to open, but we can just go and get the checkpoint over here. It's a very like weird out of bounds because you have to curve around like so much stuff. But yeah, you can just use that to get back in bounds here. So this level kind of focuses on Ratchet's cell moving. So a lot of checkpoints we have to like move forward to get him to start moving forward, but like the checkpoints are kind of like based around him. So I actually have like 30 seconds to spare while we wait for the cell to get over here.
I do have a quick fun fact about the Rhino, now that we mentioned that going out of bounds there for that checkpoint. So you won't see it at all in this run. You can clip through walls with the Rhino as well. And we actually used to clip through that barrier instead of going all the way around.
Oh, I remember
But
that.
it's super inconsistent.
It could save anywhere between 0 and 10 seconds.
Yeah, because it relies on like specific objects falling, because the objects that are falling are random.
Yeah.
So there used to be a lot of theoretical strats where you could like clip through something, but it's just super inconsistent. So it's something that's possible, but it's not used at all in this run.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness we don't have to.
Yeah, and I think that also
anyway.
spawned a lot of the various Rhino setups as well. Like we used to have like various like raritanium upgrades to try and like optimize the Rhino. But I think ultimately at the end of the day, it didn't even matter.
Yeah,
So
the only
like just
thing,
having fully upgraded Rhino was fine.
the only thing now is like the small portals sometimes kind of do weird damage, but if you know where to shoot the Rhino, you can avoid that. It'll the small portals only do like 290 damage versus the 9999 that we want, and it'll actually overlap the largest amount of damage if they get hit by that first. But if you just shoot everything pretty much right at your feet or in front of you, it'll screen wipes.
Yeah, there's like an entire document somewhere going over like all the various
hand-drawn pictures and
damage
everything.
Values.
Yeah,
we created a lot of like low-res screenshots of like the best setups possible, and then after we determined those best setups, we were like, no, like let's just run fully upgraded. Like we're not really losing anything.
Yeah.
This fight right here has a lot of different spawns. It's something that is probably one of the hardest fights to optimize.
Especially on any percent, where you have to choose every single warmonger shot carefully, because I think there's like 2 ammo crates in this entire section.
This has so many moving pieces. There's 2 ships initially, and then there's going to be 2 like sniper bots that'll fly over, and then they have to be killed for then the next wave to spawn.
Got him.
Yeah, there's like I think 4 waves of enemies, and then 2 bosses at the very end also that we have to save ammo for.
And this kind of has like a neat trick to it, where you can just shoot the cell while they're topiaried and then just kind of like pray that they both die.
You can just barely hit both ships with the same Rhino shot, but sometimes they'll fly out of it.
Yeah, most of the time you won't be able to like destroy them both at the same time, but you definitely can. There used to be a strat where we just throw 2 topiaries and then just spam Rhino like at the ground, and you would be able to kill them both without having to look away, but it's very like, it just doesn't happen very often, and I'm pretty sure it's not even faster anyway.
Yeah.
Because the ships also have to like come closer to you.
I don't like the RNG of it.
Yeah.
Oh, you can soft block here by cutscene warping and like clipping into some weird geometry. And you can't even restart checkpoint either.
Yeah, I know in older patches we saw this. I'm not sure if it's even on like this current one, but you used to crash sometimes, like when you would enter this level.
Right. Yeah.
And fun fact about this level, there was one time I was playing this game and I was just at the very beginning of this level and I was just standing there for 20 minutes and the game crashed. Like I was literally doing nothing, and I'm like, this is just so random.
That sounds like a memory leak.
Yeah, so I
wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Yeah, the older versions of this game are very like questionable, so thankfully a lot of that we don't see as much.
Which is actually the reason why we have gadget storage in the first place. We use the disc version of the game to downpatch to 1.0, and then we go into Xerkes, which normally you're not allowed to like hover boot or use weapons at all, but for some reason in 1.0 you can. And then if you like start a new file, a new game plus file from Xerkes, and then update your game, quit out and update your game, you'll just have the gadgets. Yeah. And this was so funny because somebody posted, was it RC Lombax? I think it was RC Lombax, right?
Oh yes.
Posted a clip compilation that everyone like looked at and thought was pretty cool, right? And then nobody like paid attention to it or like thought of it again for like, I don't know, what was it, like 8 months?
It was a while.
And then somebody, I can't remember if it was me or someone else, we were watching through it, and he was just using hover boots on Mega 1, and we were like, wait, time out.
Yeah, they were using the hover boots in all these levels where you don't have it. You can still find that video, and you can see the comments from all the Ratchet speedrunners, like, how did you do this?
How did this happen?
Like, what did you do? And the funniest thing is that we never actually learned it from RC Lombax. There was someone else in the community whose name is Mark, who went on his own and figured out like how you actually do it. And it's very convoluted.
Shout out to Mark.
So it's very convoluted setup, and I have no idea how he figured it out. But when this was first discovered, it was actually not allowed in speedruns because it required the disc version of the PS5, and it also required, you know, the game as the disc version, and you also had to down patch and up patch. So there's a lot of like extra steps that might make entry into the game a lot more, you know, annoying or difficult. But over time, we ended up just allowing it. Like as the amount of runners kind of went down and the run got more optimized, we were like, sure, let's allow it.
It's
but now this
possible
game's on
to
PC
do.
as well, so now there's like full accessibility because Gadget Storage is not on PC. Since PC only has the latest version, it doesn't have these older versions, so the game is still incredibly accessible to speedrun. And that's where actually most of our runners are coming from right now, is for PC.
So we're on the final fight. And what's funny about this fight is that there's a strat where if you can trick Nefarious into going directly into the water, it just kills him instantly. You still have to deal with the minions, but yeah, this is like the death water strat, so it literally saves like 30 seconds in this fight, and it was like one of the last things that we kind of like found in this route. It's like a year and a half old at this point, but yeah, that's GG's. That's the end of the run.
Yeah,
time. There's a lot going on right there.
We're yapping almost too much.
Yeah, there's a giant death barrier like where the water is, and before it used to be a soft lock, but B-Dead figured out, or no, it's player 28 figured out how to like make it work. If you kill all the enemies fast enough, B-Dead optimized it though.
Yeah, I would say the PC version has invited so many new players. Like, shout out to Player 28. Like, honestly, Player 28 is a big rack PS4 runner. He's had world record in that game for a couple categories. So seeing like really good runners like jumping into Rift Apart, especially on PC, there's been some new discoveries like the elevator on Nefarious City, like being able to jump to the top of that. Some stuff on the last level. So it's been really cool seeing more discoveries come from like runners outside of Rift Apart.
Yeah. Since we're at the end of the run, before we end off, I want to give some shout outs to everyone. So like Player 28, obviously, but also some other PC runners like T-Dex. T-Dex has been grinding out the Ratchet runs so much, and he's just killing it with the records on the PC boards. It's very impressive stuff. So if you enjoyed seeing this run and want to see it even more optimized, go check out some of T-Dex's runs. And yeah, and thanks for everyone that's in part of the Rift Apart community, part of the Ratchet community, and thanks Nautical Sin for helping me with commentary on this run.
Of course, this was awesome.
Anytime.
Yeah, and Turtle and Sin, did you want to give any shout outs as well?
Shout out to Rabeetle. Shout out to Rabeetle.
Yeah, go Rabeetle.
She's run Rift Apart a bunch. She's awesome. Shout out to Mark. He's awesome. Shout out to Devil Snake. He's run this game before, and he's also run PS4 a bunch. Shout out to Mobius. Shout out to Yugi. All the runners, even Optimal X got a shout out before.
Yeah. Oh, this cutscene's super bugged, by the way, too. Have you seen this?
But yeah, those are my shout outs. Shout out to just everyone in the Ratchet community. Like, everyone's, like, you all are awesome. And thank you for all of you that grind this game and all the other games.
All right. Well, thank you all very much for showing this off. This was a franchise I had been wanting to show.
Yeah. Our dimension could use a
Our
couple heroes
showcasers.
right about now.
Thank you for inviting us. It's an honor.
Absolutely. Heck yeah. All right, folks. Well, all good things must come to an end, and so too it must be that Crosshair come to an end this evening. But fear not, because the GDQ Hotfix, which is also a good thing, is not over yet, because coming up next, we have speedruns from the crypt. So stick around for some swoopy speedruns. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode of Crosshair, and I've got something fun planned for that one. So we'll see you in 2 weeks when we get there. And as always, folks, no matter what your dreams, goals, or hopes are in this world, always keep them in your crosshair. We'll see you next time.